Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Good afternoon. It's 74 degrees at 3:03. I'm David Solomon, and here's what's happening. Police are seeking the public's help to find a suspect in an attempted child abduction in St. John. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
Police say an unknown man approached an 8-year-old girl near the intersection of Natural Bridge and Clearview last week. He then grabbed her and told her to come with him. The department said the man let her go and ran off when her dog started barking and she screamed. Now, the suspect is described as a white man in his 30s with brown, unkempt hair and blue eyes. He also has a gold tooth and possibly missing another tooth, and an eagle tattoo on top of one of his hands. Anyone with any information should call St. John Police. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
City lawmakers are urging St. Louis Public Schools to postpone the final vote on a proposal that could close almost 24 campuses. Alderwomen Pam Boyd and Daniela Velasquez have filed a resolution calling on the St. Louis School Board and the city to delay any final action on its Future Ready plan until more opportunities are provided for public engagement. St. Louis Public Schools is considering closing anywhere from 15 to 22 campuses in a restructuring plan that the district says is aimed at addressing several long-term challenges, including a $41 million budget deficit. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has signed a bill into law that will protect consumers from being charged service fees when service providers fail to give adequate notice before arriving at a residence. State Senator Christopher Belt of the Metro East sponsored the bill. The new law requires companies to provide customers with a service window of no more than 2 hours. If the window exceeds 2 hours, it must call the customer at least an hour before arriving. In addition, companies will be prohibited from charging fees related to a missed visit if it fails to provide the required notice and the customer isn't home. The upcoming school year is fast approaching, and with it comes a number of back-to-school giveaways. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has more.
There are several back-to-school events coming up on Saturday. In Ferguson, Athenia Healthcare is hosting an event at the Ferguson Health Center on Pershaw Road. Free school supplies will be available while supplies last, with physicals, immunizations, free haircuts, face paintings, and more between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Cross Keys Baptist Church will be giving away backpacks and personal care items from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the church on New Halls Ferry Road in Florissant. And in St. Charles, the Boys and Girls Club of St. Charles County is hosting a back-to-school bash with one backpack per school-age child in attendance while supplies last. That runs from 10 a.m. until noon at the Boys and Girls Club on Lindenwood Avenue in St. Charles. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment has been awarded a Youth Build grant worth more than $1.2 million from the U.S. Department of Labor. The funding will be used to help young people overcome barriers to education and employment while preparing for family-sustaining careers in high-demand industries. Now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow currently up 235 points to 51,947. The NASDAQ down 161 points to 24,975. And S&P 500 up 3 points to 7,411. KTRS News Time is 3:07. Let's check out sports with Paul Kopsky at the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk.
David Dustin May takes the mound tonight for the Cardinals as they open a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals have lost 5 of their last 6 contests, and 3 Mizzou football players have been named to the media's preseason All-SEC team at SEC Media Days. Running back Ahmad Hardy and left tackle Caden Green have been named to the first team, and long snapper Brett LeBlanc earned third-team recognition. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. 64 West is running slow from Hampton to McCausland. 64 East congested from just east of Illinois 157 to 159. 5570 East is slow between Exchange and Illinois 111. And 5570 West is jammed between 255 and Black Lane. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And in your KTRS First Alert forecast, you can expect scattered showers for the remainder of the day with a high near 78. Cloudy tonight with scattered showers and thunderstorms and a low around 68. Scattered morning showers and thunderstorms give way to gradually clearing skies and a high near 88 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, increasing clouds with a low around 74. And Sunday, a heat advisory goes into effect at 11 a.m., running through 9 p.m. Monday for most of the KTRS listening area. Otherwise, mostly sunny Sunday with a high near 94. It's 74 degrees at 309 at the KTRS studios in Maryland Heights. I'm David Solomon, KTRS News, on the Talk of St. Louis.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be hosting another family movie night at Westport Plaza for a free showing of The Sandlot, Friday, July 31st. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza and bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Whew, only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. So come out to Movie Friday, July 31st for a special screening of The Sandlot. Or visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Appliance Discounters, Connor Roofing, Metal Exchange, Galmish & Sons Heating and Cooling, Allen Roofing and Siding, and Altair Travel.
We did it. We made it through another work week. And I'm going to say, with the weather as beautiful as it was most of the week, this was a tough one to get through because who wanted to come in to work? But we did, and it's Friday, and we are here with a great show. Heidi Glaus with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey, and we've got a lot of fun to get to. Coming up first, we're going to talk to Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge, member of Vance's protective detail under investigation and have been pulled. So we'll find out what exactly is going on there. As we do on Fridays, we'll chat with Mike Ward, and we're going to talk about some fantastic summer whites, which who doesn't love a crisp summer white? But this time we're talking about a couple of wines that I don't know if we've ever talked about before. So that is coming up. We also will check in with the ABC reporter in New York, and a new poll was just conducted, and it's about shorts in the workplace. Do you think that shorts are okay? It's interesting. 45% of people actually do, and I'm okay with it. But you guys can weigh in on the text line, the KTRS text line 84126. We'll also talk a little sports with KTRS contributor is what we're going to call him. He's also the host of The Fight on Matrix. Randy Kirker. LeBron James has decided where he's going, but we'll talk about if this is a good fit and why Randy thinks that he ended up there. So that's what we have coming up today on this Friday edition. Can you believe it is already July 24th? As I said earlier, like once we hit July 4th, I feel like summer just starts whizzing by.
It's funny you brought that up because today I had very many panic attack. Well, summer's almost over. Yeah. Summer's almost over. I got to hold on to this, and it kind of hit me today. It's
that time of year. A lot of people are getting ready to go off to college, if not already there. So let's just enjoy the weekend.
I said the same thing in the car this morning with my wife. We dropped Finn off and got a coffee together. And I said, Heidi was complaining all through June and early July that the summer's flying by. I thought June and the holiday weekend, which kind of felt like June rolled right into a long 4th of July weekend. I thought it's been going nice and slow. But boy, since 4th of July, since
the way it always is.
It has blown by.
Yeah.
And for us, we took that vacation out west. And so you come back and into your normal routine. And all of a sudden, wait a minute, it was June.
Yeah.
And now it's late July.
It's crazy. Fast. I mean, next weekend is August.
It's crazy.
So as I said,
Oh my gosh.
Did you not realize it?
Not until you said it out loud.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's moving along. Lots of things to do this weekend. You've got wildlife on the move. I don't know if you realize this or not, but you can get up close and personal with alligators, hawks, falcons, and other wild animals. It's a collaboration between the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary and the Florida Bay Schlager Reserve. That's at Grant's Farm, which is pretty cool. It happens hourly, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Shows are each hour. You got the Worst Festival that is going on. That's at Das Bevo. It's the 5th annual. It's a very lively beer garden.
Worst with a U.
Yes.
Like bratwurst.
Well, Mr. Continental, don't you say versed?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Or is that just,
I forgot I do.
Yeah. Don't forget, you have the festival's signature Stein holding contest, which is always fun. Have you ever tried a Stein holding contest?
I have such weak wrists.
It is so hard.
Really?
Yes. You have a big, and depending on how big the Stein is, and they fill it with beer, and then you have to keep your arm out. It is tough.
Yeah. We'll go to bars with my buddies and they've got, the big beers. I'll take a big beer. This particular bar calls them man beers versus woman beers, which it's weird because when I'll take one of the women beers.
Yeah,
it's just a regular beer. It's not at the 20 ouncer.
Doesn't have breasts.
Yeah. But I'll pick up my big man beer and my buddies will be like, Josh, you all right there? Because my hand will be shaking,
So you're not going to participate in the Stein holding.
No.
You've also got Margarita Fest. You can sample all kinds of specialty margaritas while enjoying live music.
Where's that?
Themed food. Ballpark Village.
I'm on board.
Tomorrow at noon, which is fun. And then, don't judge me for this, but it is one of my favorite events of the year, the World Naked Bike Ride.
People watching.
It is amazing to watch.
Every time, I've never seen it. I don't think I want to. There's one word that always comes to mind when this is mentioned. Chafe. Or chafing.
Yeah. Well, it's in parts that maybe you've never chafed before when it's the World Naked Bike Ride. It celebrates solidarity, positive body image among cyclists. The party starts at 4 in front of the handlebar in the Grove, and then the ride begins at 6. The after party then goes to 11, but it comes right through the middle of Lafayette Square. For the last several years, we have posted up with our wine and just watched them ride by, and it is amazing how many people participate.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Aren't there decency laws? I've always wondered this.
It actually
the cops
is.
don't come out.
There's cops closing roads.
Okay. The cops are naked.
They're clothed. And some people are clothed, but there are a lot of people naked, and it is typically the people that you don't want to see.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You ever watch the, what is it, the Discovery Channel show, Naked and Afraid?
I can't.
I've tuned in a couple times because it is fascinating.
But they blur out the good parts, so no, I don't watch it.
You put
it's a tease.
Well, the real show is you put somebody in the middle of nowhere. You say you can have 2 items, and it's always interesting to see. Oh, I'll take a knife and shoes, or someone says I'll do bug spray and you know a
You're
pan.
definitely going to want some bug spray if you don't have clothes on.
But you realize the first thing I found out from that show is you could go 21 days without food, but you can only go
water.
3 days without water. And then
You knew that before the show.
I didn't realize it was that
The
wide of a
specifics
gulf.
of it,
Yeah.
Okay.
But the second thing I learned from that show, much like the naked bike ride, is naked is not always better. In fact,
There's good naked and there's bad naked.
yes,
Bad naked.
Seinfeld taught us that in the 90s. I gotta imagine that it's true that naked is most of the time worse.
Most of the time, I would
Most of the
agree.
time worse.
Even
Gotta-
Tarzan had a loincloth.
Yeah, you got to leave a little to the imagination.
Yeah, that's what my dad always said. Son, it's not about what you can see. It's about what
Well,
you don't see.
I would take that a step further. How many people are stunning, and then all of a sudden they take off their sunglasses, and they're not as attractive? You know?
Googly eyes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no offense to Lady Gaga, but she's one of them.
Wow, just calling somebody
She's
out.
got googly eyes.
She's not listening.
You don't know.
And then, hey, Lady Gaga, I look better in sunglasses than without. So
I think most people do, but there are certain people where you kind of do a double take, and then all of a sudden the sunglasses come off, and you're like, "Is that the same person I was just looking at?" I don't know.
With the Worst Festival, I gotta ask the texters because the Verst, the Bratwurst, 84126 on the text line. What's the deal with the white sausage? That white bratwurst. Have you ever seen this? You go over to Germany. They've got the big sausages, and then they have that white. It's like bright white one. What is that? What's going on there?
I don't know the answer to that.
My wife,
I know what you're talking of.
My wife always says the white asparagus creeps her out. Have you ever seen the yellow watermelon? They have watermelon that's yellow.
I haven't seen that.
I have.
And then the white sausages. She's like, I don't know. I can't do it. And so we had a show over in Belleville at the, what was that beer? They had that big beer hall over there. And they had the white sausage on the menu right across from Our Lady of the Snows.
It's kind of a German thing. I wouldn't know what that
Hofbrau
is.
House.
Yeah.
This says that the white, traditional known as Weibwurst, I don't know, translates into white sausage, is a mild Bavarian sausage traditionally made from finely minced veal and pork, and then back bacon. It's almost gray or white in color, a soft texture, and is delicately flavored with parsley, lemon, mace, onions, and cardamom.
I've never tried it, but
They're
I guess I
usually
would.
poached as well.
Poached.
Yeah.
So
which
boiled.
that's kind of brings out
A boiled sausage. Yeah. Weisswurst.
Okay.
Yeah.
while we're talking food, a semi truck crashed and completely coated an Ohio state road in a massive shipment of pickles. The Ohio Department of Transportation went viral for posting there was quite a pickle today.
Oh boy.
Come on.
The pickles, however, are spared.
Oh, see what they did there.
Uh-huh. What is the craziest thing?
Did you say speared?
Uh-huh. Have you ever come upon a truck that has spilled anything? I mean, an oil spill or a gas spill. I know that beer has been known to. What's the craziest? Pickles is pretty.
That's pretty crazy.
I like to grab these stories. One of them was Hawaiian Punch. A whole truck full of Hawaiian Punch spilled out all over the place. And the latest one, I meant to share it with you guys, was Frank's Red Hot.
Oh.
Crash everywhere. Whoa. Orange everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying knockwurst, but I don't necessarily see knockwurst being white. So I don't know if knockwurst is the answer.
Very interesting. One more tip for you. Pick your own peaches are set to have the lowest seasonal prices the last weekend of July. Pick your own peaches will be at 99 cents a pound this weekend at Eckert's in celebration of the Peach Festival. If you guys have not had Eckert's peaches,
They're good. Oh
and
my
if you have
gosh.
not been over there to pick peaches, it is such a fun outing, and those peaches are absolutely delicious.
Like most things, fresh is best. And when you get a fresh, ripe peach, you know, they're soft. Oh my gosh. And juicy. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we just did something. My wife finds all these recipes on Instagram, and we did, it was burrata, which is like it's like mozzarella, you know, the big ball cheese. It was burrata, prosciutto, and then
I love burrata and prosciutto and little balsamic
I
vinaigrette.
got the balsamic, and then we halved some peaches, and I put them on the grill.
Oh,
And then
No
I
way.
took them off, and we put them on bread. It was so
Did they stay juicy?
good. They stayed juicy. I've never grilled a peach before, so this
So
was,
it had a little crust, kind
it
of.
had a little crust. I put it on the grill, and you can instantly smell the sugar caramelizing. Oh, it was so cool.
I want to try it this weekend. I've never done that.
Grill your peaches, and I don't know if it works on a grill or if it's better on a Blackstone flat top, or
You
whatever.
did it on a grill, though.
I did it on a grill, so
Yeah.
it had the grill marks. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But will it work on the Blackstone? I'm sure it would.
yeah.
But yes, grill your peaches, people. It was fun.
A couple people saying my dad was a butcher, commonly brought home the white sausage. He always called it Bockhorst. Somebody else said when I was a little girl, we used to go to a place called Pekwowski in the city, and the white sausages were called backwards.
Backwurst, backhorst.
Yeah, a lot of people weighing in. And then somebody said my dad worked for Union Electric, and one time a truckload of pigs overturned in front of them, and about an hour and a half later, we had a little tiny baby pig in our backyard that we did keep for quite some time.
Huh.
That's awesome.
Listener Liz on the text line said, I prefer the white ones to the dark brats.
Huh.
And then that texter that said that place in the city, I've got a brother-in-law who's a firefighter in the city. I think it's called Piatowski's. It is a famous butcher up in the city, and he gets this ham thing from there. It's like a ham log. And it was very good. And he brings
log.
It's like a sausage, but I don't know how to describe it, but that's a pretty famous butcher up in the city.
Okay. Last night we went to see Sarah McLachlan at St. Louis Music Park, and was fantastic. Talk about a beautiful night for an outdoor concert. It was just spectacular. But we kind of had a high school reunion, and my sister is 2 years younger than I am. Her two best friends live here in St. Louis, but oddly enough, we don't get to see them a lot. Now everybody's kids are going off to college. So I was talking to one of them because they're interested in RVs. And I'm like, you have to go to Byerly RV because they have the latest and greatest and so many options. Byerly RV has been in the RV business for more than 75 years. Locally owned, family owned and operated. That's the way it's been the entire time. And as I have learned, RVing is just a great way to get away without leaving home behind. You get to spend more time with the people that are most important to you. I kid you not. I think like Marsha and I get along better, and it's just like we're on the same page in the RV. You're always a little, closer. It's not like somebody is outside or somebody is upstairs. You're kind of there doing a lot together, and it is something that I think has been great for us. But Byerly RV has more than 30 brands of new RVs in stock. They've got travel trailers, fifth wheels, camper vans, gas and diesel motorhomes, all sorts of links and all sorts of things that you can pull, even with what you might have right now, so you don't have to upgrade anything. But the salespeople at Byerly will help you through all of that. They also have a great service department. Mine is getting the oil changed as we speak, and the storage facility is unlike anything I have ever seen. I don't think there's anything like it in the Midwest. You can learn more and see more on ByerlyRV.com. That's the website. Or this weekend, stop by Byerly RV and just check out some of the rigs on the lot. They're right there in Eureka at 109 and 44.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. 1 great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They can send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Are you ready to begin your home purchase journey in 2026? The Royal Banks of Missouri Mortgage Team is here to help you every step of the way. Their local lenders offer competitive rates and personalized support so you can focus on creating the space of your dreams. Discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can partner with you to unlock the door to your new home. Call 314-212-1500 to learn how they can help find the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Is your job just a job and you want to work in a rewarding career? If the answer is yes, then start your journey today by becoming a union construction craft laborer. Why wait? Visit buildunion.com to learn more about becoming a union craft laborer and starting a rewarding career in the construction industry. Build a career, build a future, build a legacy. Buildunion.com for more information.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's take a look at traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky in the traffic center.
Josh, an accident on 64 West at Bellevue has just been cleared with residual congestion back to Kings Highway. 64 East bogs down around 170. In Illinois, 64 East is congested from 157 to 159. 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 5570 East slow between Exchange and Illinois 111. And 5570 West is jammed between 255 and Black Lane. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot, face painting, concession, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free Family Movie Night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, a member of Vice President Vance's protective detail is under investigation. Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge FBI, joins us with what he knows. Hey, Rich.
Hey, how are you guys?
We are great. It's Friday. We're, just anxious for the weekend, but this is a pretty big deal. I don't know when I've ever heard that Secret Service has been investigated like this.
Yeah, I mean, it has happened where somebody gives out information that they shouldn't give out, but it's been quite a while. And it's something that the Secret Service takes very seriously because, they have a special relationship with their protectees. And their protectees have to be able to say anything, basically anything legal, but anything that they can in front of the Secret Service. And if they feel that they can't, that's going to inhibit both the protection of the Secret Service and also it's going to just cause problems as the vice president or any other protectee moves on.
What are they accusing this member of the Secret Service of doing?
So it's not earth shattering what he said, but basically the allegation is that the agent was complaining about how President Vance uses the detail and how he uses different vehicles, helicopters, etc., on behalf of his family, which, by the way, I think he's allowed to do because all of himself and his family are considered primary, heavily protected under the Secret Service, and they must be they must have Secret Service personnel with them wherever they go. So this agent supposedly was complaining about that and gave out information that could indicate where the president's son and other members of his family are in the future. And again, that you just can't do that, not as a Secret Service agent.
So it did seem like part of it was the use or maybe misuse of Marine 1 and 2 for the golf lesson out at Andrews. But part of it that I read was that the Secret Service agent or whomever it was complaining that they do it so willy-nilly, so last minute that some of the agents have to come in on their days off, have to leave their families in the lurch to rush over to the whims of the vice president or the president, whoever it may be. But when it comes to the Secret Service agents, isn't this kind of what they signed up for?
Exactly. And listen, I understand where the agent may be coming from, but there are other methods and mechanisms for him, for the agent, whether it's a male or female, I don't know which it is, but for the Secret Service agent to file that complaint. Mm-hmm. You can speak to the head of the detail and see if the head of the detail can speak to the vice president or members of the family, the vice president's wife, etc. Or you can go through a process, I'm sure, that's set up within the Secret Service to make these complaints, basically through like an ombudsman or some other mechanism. What you can't do is just, basically go public and make complaints about the vice president when your job is, one, to protect him. So therefore, now there's a schism between the two of them. And then secondly, you cannot give out any information which could be utilized in the future to know what the vice president's schedule is, especially that of his family, when you're talking about his kids, his wife, etc.
Rich, is this a fireable offense?
That's up in the air right now. I think it's being investigated by the equivalent of what would be internal affairs. In the FBI would be our inspection division. And basically they're looking into this through the mechanism of the Secret Service. But what they are also looking at is, did he violate any laws? And again, I'm saying he, but it could be a she.
Right.
But did the Secret Service agent violate any laws by giving out this information? Were there confidentiality laws, privacy laws? Were there is any of the information that went out classified? All that's going to be looked at. If not, then this could just be a quote unquote internal affair where the agent either is transferred to a different detail, maybe gets time off without pay. There are other penalties before firing. But again, I think we're just in the inspection of this, or the investigation of this is just in the beginning stages. So I don't think they've gotten to that yet.
And Rich, you told us earlier in the week that the threat level against the executive branch has never been higher than it is right now. We got the Washington Correspondents dinner tonight. It's the redo because of what happened several months ago with the person that charged in there and tried to shoot the place up. So it would be obviously concerning if a Secret Service agent was giving out a travel itinerary. But this administration loves the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement. But I got to imagine Secret Service agents have to sign something ahead of time.
I'll be honest. I don't even think it's an NDA. I think it just is part of your contract as when you become a Secret Service agent as to what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. When I was in the FBI, I could not pass information about internal matters of the FBI or any of our investigations, anything without authorization. And by the way, I'd ask for it in writing, but authorization from the FBI. In this case, the Secret Service, their job is to protect. And I remember back, when I was working with agents, and there were complaints about a different president, one of the other presidents prior to President Trump, and they would not make any complaints. They would keep their mouths closed. You would hear about all these allegations in the press, but it would never come from a Secret Service agent. They understood that their job is to protect the detailee, and the amount of trust that you have to have in this relationship is one where the protectee can never think that you're going to do something behind their back. And now, to be quite frank, I think President Vance and his wife actually probably do have that feeling to a degree because of this allegation.
Very interesting. It is a whole new world. Rich Frankel, ABC, former special agent in charge. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, guys.
Speaking of weekends, it's always better when you're traveling, isn't it? And I just got a text from Angie Markway. She is the president of Altair Travel and Cruises. And she said, we just had one single room open up for Iceland, and they're offering the single with a $250 off discount, which is kind of crazy because time is ticking for the Iceland trip, and it's going to be amazing. It's October 23rd, and we are going to see it all. We're going to see all the waterfalls and the black beaches, and we're going to spend some time in the charming town of Reykjavik, and then we're going to go in search of the Northern Lights every single night. And don't forget, we're also going to go to the Blue Lagoon and take a little dip. It is going to be peaceful. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be the time of your life. And right now there's one room open with a $250 off discount, which is a great deal. You can call Altair Travel right now, 314-968-9600, 314-968-9600. You can also check them out online. They have all kinds of featured destinations, and I know my trip to Iceland is up there as well. But wherever you're going, if you are traveling in the States or if you're going abroad, Altair Travel and Cruises will make it so much easier than trying to do it by yourself. You can find them online at altairtravel.com.
A native of St. Louis, a graduate of Country Day, 3 decades of broadcasting in the MLB,
and the Cardinals have won this game 5-4,
and the NFL.
Patriots win the Super Bowl!
And now host of the upcoming ESPN Jeopardy! The Big 550 congratulates the induction of Joe Buck into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Receiving the Ford C. Frick Award.
Joe and his dad, legendary Cardinal play-by-play broadcaster Jack Buck,
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
are the first father and son duo to be inducted. Our very own KTRS Julie Buck could not be prouder of her brother. KTRS salutes and again sends congrats to the entire Buck family. We are the talk of St. Louis.
The Big 550.
KTRS.
Lauren, can I ask you a couple questions? Sure. If your parents were buying a home tomorrow, would you represent them any differently than one of your clients?
Not a chance. And when I say that, I mean, I treat my clients exactly like I'd treat my parents. Same honesty, same advice, same negotiation. Every client gets the same service.
Okay, second question. If one of your closest friends called you and said, I found a house, I'm in love with it, but you knew it was a bad decision, what would you do?
I've already done it before. I tell them no, don't buy it. My job isn't to sell people houses. It's to help them make good decisions. And sometimes that means they don't get to buy anything that day.
That's exactly why I've sent my friends and family to Lauren for years.
I mean, it's simple. Buying and selling a house, it's a big deal. And people deserve to have someone who's willing to tell them what they need to hear and not just what they want to hear.
Exactly. If you already know Lauren from listening every week, then you already know the kind of person she is. When it's time to make your move, give Lauren Risley Realty a call at 314-775-0684.
How do you separate estate planning from elder law? You don't, because they're so intertwined. Let's face it, we're all getting older, and you need to make these decisions today, whether it's for your parents, for yourself, or for future generations. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Caroline Stolzer, and now it's Matthew Furr, have been navigating these important decisions for more than 50 years. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, estate planning, and elder law. Call them, 636-946-7899 or beckelderlaw.com. You can thank me later.
Tune in to KTRS on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. for the Strategic Wealth Hour, hosted by experienced advisors Tom Haddican and Charlie Sanariva from Center to Wealth Solutions.
The Strategic Wealth Hour is a dynamic and engaging show designed to help listeners take control of their financial future with confidence.
By breaking down complex topics like retirement planning, wealth and investment management, and protection strategies you can actually use. That's the Strategic Wealth Hour on Sundays at 10 a.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust. And that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer. Medicare can feel like learning a whole new language. Supplement plans, Medicare Advantage, Part D prescription coverage. How do you know if your doctors are even in the network? That's where Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, comes in. Ryan is like having your own Medicare consultant, guiding you through every option at no cost to you. By law, the insurance companies pay his fee, not you. For the right plan, call the Medicare Man, 314-368-6808, or visit MedicareManSTL.com.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
With Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey
on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's about 4:15, and we need to get a check of traffic with Captain Paul because it's Friday and a lot of people are starting their happy hour early.
Heidi, no accidents, just some slow traffic. 64 West is crowded between Kings Highway and Clayton Skinker. 64 East bogs down around 170. There's debris on 44 West before 7th Street in the right lane. In Wentzville, 61 North is jammed between Pittman and Route P. In Illinois, 64 East is stop and go from 157 to 159. 6455 West slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 5570 East is running slow between Exchange and Illinois 111, and 5570 West is jammed between 255 and Black Lane, where it starts to open up. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. Neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Would you wear shorts to the office? 45% of those polled said yes. I wish we could here, but the boss says no. Sue Yoon, ABC News business reporter in New York, joins us to discuss. It's usually a debate every year, isn't it?
I think so. I was just saying that this seems to be the year that we're really, really seeing it, at least in our offices and on the streets of New York.
You are seeing more shorts. And are they longer, more dress shorts, or are we talking about your Saturday afternoon cutoffs?
No shorts, no athletic shorts in the office that I've seen. They're longer shorts. We saw designers for both men and women send shorts down the runway earlier this season, and they're longer shorts to the knee, maybe a little bit lower, usually with like a crisp pleat, fold or pleat. And people do, it's a little bit, we're joking around, it's like the mullet of outfits. It's
in between.
business up top and party at the bottom.
Yeah.
And usually with like a button-down shirt or a belt, or some people even with a blazer. Those are definitely sold like that. Yeah.
That reminds me of the old Sears ads selling clothing in the 70s. For those of you of a certain age, you'll know what we're talking about. So those who would push back against wearing shorts to the office, what were the common things they say?
Well, I was just discussing it with one of my coworkers that it seems weird, even for us, the idea of wearing shorts, even though they're longer and have much more material than a lot of skirts. There's a little bit of a taboo that way. And I think a lot of it comes down to age. I think people who are older or more senior, more in management, I have not seen it on them. I've seen it on one person. And I think the people I've seen it in really embracing it are to my eyes, they're 30 or younger.
All right. So I haven't worked in an office in a long time. We work at a radio station now. And Sue, you know that things aren't really as business attire around radio stations as they used to be.
Except the boss doesn't let us wear shorts.
The boss says no shorts.
Is it a rule that's no shorts, or you just haven't seen him wear shorts?
No, he doesn't want us wearing shorts.
And he's not a big fan of hats, Bob.
And jeans.
Nice
Josh.
jeans. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Sue, sorry you had to sit through that. But when I worked in corporate America at my cubicle job, this was 20 years ago, I saw a lot of women wearing shorts, and they were satiny, they were dressy, they were this, they were that. And all the guys would get around, at happy hour and say, how come we can't wear shorts? What about the skirts? Is that what they're called? The skirt shorts, where they look like a skirt, but then from behind you can tell that they're clearly shorts.
Yeah, those are having a comeback too. Sports or culottes or things like that. They're having a comeback, and I've seen it. In some neighborhoods, I've seen it on guys as well. They're usually longer too, so they give you a lot of freedom that way.
Yeah.
And I think I think people are there's a lot going on right now, and people want something that looks new, or people like to push boundaries, or just want to refresh. But also, it's really hot. It's been really hot globally this summer, and I think people are thinking, well, if I have to go into the office, here in New York, people take the subway, that gets hot, and some people ride bikes or walk. They want to be as comfortable as possible doing it.
I agree. Sue, have you seen it that it's particularly in certain areas of business and others absolutely not?
Look, if I were to walk into a law firm I don't think I'd see that many of them, especially on men. I don't think in finance, but that was so weird because it was a Bloomberg poll that we were talking about earlier. 45% of respondents, and those are Bloomberg clients. So those are portfolio managers, traders. Have I seen broad swaths of that in the financial district? No, but I have seen a little bit more than you would expect. And it's kind of like now, how white sneakers now, or like fancy sneakers are now a trend, and people wear them with suits or dresses. I don't think we're not quite there yet, but we've seen a bunch of things that we never thought we'd see, right? Already?
Very true.
At the World Cup, at the end of it, you've got President Trump and you've got Gianni Infantino. He's the head of FIFA. He's wearing a suit, but with those bright white sneakers. And President Trump obviously has his favorite, I forget the brand name, but his favorite shoes that he wears, more of a business, a dress shoe. And I just thought, well, maybe that's because Gianni is European. But that's more in every office in America. More and more business professionals are wearing sneakers with their suits.
And a lot of and it's a different, and some of those sneakers are luxury items, right?
Yes.
Some of them are $700. Some of them are like $1,000, and like you keep them pristine. They have sneaker cleaning specialty shops, things like that. And whatever people can sell, there'll probably be a market for. Yeah. But listen, the heat's not nothing. In Tokyo, apparently, they relaxed the dress code there to encourage people to wear shorts this summer, and that came out at the beginning of the Iran war. Asia was hit really hard, and still is, by fuel prices and fuel shortages, and they were thinking of ways to save on energy costs. So there's a lot of different problems that are being solved by this, but also going back to Tokyo, some of the women complained about what translates into hair harassment. The bottom of their male colleagues' legs, and are complaining about it, and they're still expected to wear hose or stockings. So solutions do also beget other problems sometimes.
And speaking of the heat in Tokyo, I just read that the Japanese have had to come up with a new word for oppressive heat. They've never had a word for it before. They just came up. I don't have it in front of me, but it's so hot in Tokyo that they have updated their vocabulary to reflect it.
Yeah, I mean, don't we all?
Yeah.
So true.
What is the going dress code now in business in 2026? Is it polo shirts and Lululemon pants?
I don't think we're quite there yet. But it's funny, we have right now, and next to our office is here, Anthropic just moved in, and there's a coffee shop I just stopped by to get a nice coffee because it's summer. And I was asking them if they've seen the Anthropic people yet, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can." I was like, "Can you tell that they're tech people?" And they said, "Oh, they wear these shirts with the company logo on the side, But like, if you think about the tech industry, that did a lot for loosening dress codes.
Yes,
the hoodies, right?
Yeah, the dress hoodies.
Which also is like, some people think is like a bias towards young people, right? Like older people might not look as good in hoodies as young people, or less forgiving on some people than others. So it's there's a lot when you do tweak with these dress codes.
Yeah.
But I was joking around, we were, these suits, a lot of people were like, blazers with these shorts. It's a little bit like English boarding school or the royal family, or young princes.
AC/DC.
But like if you go back to the founding fathers, right, they were like kind of shorts, breeches and heels, and
I gotta say, I'm guilty of wearing that a lot when I was doing TV. I had actually like 3 different suits with shorts. So I like the look, and I lean into it as often as I can. So thank you so much for joining us. I think the one thing we can all agree on is fashion is always going to be a constant, and it's constantly going to be changing.
That's true.
Yeah. Have a great weekend.
You too. Take care.
Matter of fact, I had these black and white pinstripe long shorts, like they went right above the knee, and I always wore them with heels. And I usually had like a white shirt on with like a bow, and then I'd wear a jacket with like 3/4 sleeves on top of it. And I was interviewing Ted Danson on the set of The Good Place. And as we're sitting there and getting adjusted, he said, "Did you cut your husband's pants off?" And I'm like,
boy, if you only knew, Ted.
Yeah.
That wasn't all.
Yeah. I told you I went to Key West earlier in the week. Wedding down there, I wore shorts and a blazer. It was a linen blazer. It was a very casual wedding.
I love the look.
I had a flamingo button-up shirt underneath.
Nice.
It's not like we were at a church wedding or anything, but I don't think I could ever have the gall to try to pull off shorts and a blazer unless sand was involved. You know? There's a time and a place
If you're
for
not
it.
in the tropics.
I don't think I could do it these days.
Weird.
Necessarily true. I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence. Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
St. Louis is a small town, and we all know it, especially Indoor Comfort Team. Since their beginning in 1979, Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning has served their neighbors with old school honesty and integrity, fair and common sense pricing, and fast, reliable service with real human support. When you call them, whether you need a second opinion or a whole new HVAC system, you'll get a real human being on the other line. No AI, no robot answering machines. From HVAC installation to repairs, even water heaters, Indoor Comfort Team will take care of you. And with summer already upon us, maybe it's time to get that air conditioner checked. Indoor Comfort Team takes care of our community because they're a part of it. Check them out today at indoorcomfortteam.com or call 314-894-8200.
Mark Lawson with Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor. Many homeowners live with old drafty windows for years, thinking they can put it off until later. But once they replace them with new Anderson windows, they often tell me the same thing. I can't believe the difference. Their homes are quieter, more comfortable, and more energy efficient, and the curb appeal is drastically improved. At Black Fox Cooper, we help homeowners understand their options and select the right Anderson windows for their home and budget. Do it today instead of tomorrow. Call 314-270-1484. Online, blackfoxcooper.com.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app.
Powered by JBL Financial.
Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Frankie Simano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon, right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. 30 years going strong.
We are live, local and locally owned.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News. A nuclear partnership with U.S. President Trump insists is in the works. The president added a caveat to the deal, which would allow the U.S. to help the Saudis build nuclear power, but the Saudis have to signed onto the Abraham Accords. That agreement paves the way for other Middle East nations to have normalized relations with Israel. Saudi Arabia has long said it wants formal recognition of the Palestinian state, something the current Israeli government won't do.
We've looked at the history of this and the law. This is the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, which arranges for or allows for a congressional review process once a deal is struck with a foreign country to share nuclear technology. It was controversial to begin with because of the concerns about nuclear nonproliferation and the idea of might this not allow for international inspectors, and would the Saudis actually be enriching uranium in Saudi Arabia? The president insisted that wouldn't be part of the deal.
A shocking broad daylight double stabbing in Manhattan Thursday afternoon. The NYPD says the suspect shouted Aloha Akbar, then randomly stabbed two men in the 50s. ABC's Aaron Katursky.
One of the victims is Asian, who was stabbed in the back with a knife. The other victim is Jewish and had just stepped outside a synagogue when he was stabbed in the chest with a screwdriver. A UPS driver who saw what happened followed the suspect for several blocks. Police then took 51-year-old Raul Morales into custody.
Both were hospitalized and are in stable condition. The Carolinas are on pace for multi-day floods in the next several days. ABC meteorologist Ginger Z.
Charleston to Wilmington today finds themselves in a level 3 out of 4. So that's where some of the heaviest rain will be falling. We're talking about 3-inch per hour rainfall rates possible. That includes Myrtle Beach right in the center of it. We've seen these heavy showers. Obviously, we know what this front can do. It's taken its sweet time getting through, and we're going to see this all the way through Saturday afternoon.
You're listening to ABC News.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Good afternoon. It is 74 degrees at 4:03. I'm David Solomon, and here's what's happening. July 25th will be observed as Emmett Till Day in Illinois. Yesterday, Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a bill into law to honor the life and legacy of Till and to acknowledge the significance of his death in the struggle for civil rights in the United States. Senator L.G. Sims is one of the bill's sponsors.
By designating July 25th Emmett Till Day in Illinois, we affirm and reaffirm that his story will not be forgotten. We acknowledge the darkest chapters of our history so that we are committed to never repeat them, because memory is an act of justice, and remembrance carries responsibility. It's not too late for the children who are growing up today. It's not too late to teach the truth. It's not too late to demand justice. It's not too late to choose courage over silence.
Emmett Till was a 14-year-old black child from Chicago who was kidnapped, beaten, and brutally murdered in Mississippi by white supremacists in 1955. A longtime former St. Louis Cardinals physician is suing one of the area's largest hospital systems for more than $182,000 in unpaid compensation. Dr. George A. Paletta Jr. filed the suit against Mercy this week, alleging it withheld its paychecks starting in January without providing a termination notice. Paletta is suing for more than $145,000 in clinical pay and more than $36,000 related to his assignment to the Cardinals, whom he served as the team's head orthopedist until this past October. Missouri has withdrawn from a multi-state lawsuit seeking to strike down part of a federal law mandating states to provide services to allow people with disabilities to live in their communities versus an institutional setting. 17 Republican-led states filed a lawsuit in September of 2024 challenging a Biden administration rule that indicated that gender dysphoria may be a disability per the 1973 Rehabilitation Act. 8 states withdrew from the suit when the Trump administration proposed a rule that would exclude gender dysphoria from being classified as a disability. Several other states followed. Missouri's withdrawal last week leaves 4 states remaining in the lawsuit. It's always one of the hottest tickets in town, and they'll be going on sale soon. KTRS's Vicky Pimentel has the story.
Guns and Hoses is a St. Louis tradition. The Thanksgiving Eve charity boxing and MMA event raises money for Backstoppers, which supports the families of fallen first responders and those who have suffered catastrophic injuries. Since 1987, the event has packed the Enterprise Center and has raised about $14 million. 100% of the money raised goes to Backstoppers, which supports about 100 families and 75 children each year. Tickets go on sale this year on Saturday, August 1st on the event website, stlgunsandhoses.com. Vicky Pimentel, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. General Motors has announced it is investing $157 million into its Wentzville assembly plant. That includes the construction of a 28,000 square foot paint shop. The project, which is expected to take 18 months, will also include new paint process equipment, along with the refurbishment of existing paint shop infrastructure. Now let's take a look at the closing markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow is up 235 points to 51,947. The NASDAQ fell 161 points to 24,975. And the S&P 500 gained 3 points to close at 7,411. KTRS News Time is 4:07. Let's head over to Paul Kopsky now with a look at sports at the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk.
David Dustin May takes the mound tonight for the Cardinals as they open a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals have lost 5 of their last 6 contests. And the Blues have hired former Hall of Fame defenseman Sergei Zubov as an advisor to hockey operations. Zubov has held head coaching positions in the KHL and serves as a consultant to the Blues in 2012 and 2013 in that season. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. No accidents, but 44 East is busy between the Dome and 5564. In Wentzville, 61 North is jammed between Pittman and Route P. In Illinois, 64 East is stop and go from 157 to 159. 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. And 5570 West is jammed between 255 and Black Lane, where it thins out. This traffic report is brought to you by Stages St. Louis. Get your season tickets now for Stages St. Louis. Take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls, which runs through August 23rd. Then Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call 314-821-2407 or visit stagessstlouis.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And in your KTRS First Alert forecast for the rest of the afternoon into the evening, expect cloudy skies. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will have an overnight low around 68. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue in the morning hours tomorrow before skies gradually clear with a high near 88. Increasing clouds tomorrow night with a low around 74. Then Sunday is a first alert weather day. A heat advisory goes into effect at 11 a.m. Sunday through 9 p.m. Monday. We can expect mostly sunny skies with a high near 94 and heat indices approaching 105. We have cloudy skies and 74 degrees at 409 at the KTRS studios underneath the Gold Tower at Westport Plaza. I'm David Solomon, KTRS News on the Talk of St. Louis.
For 6 generations, the name Edwards has stood for unwavering trust in wealth management. At Benjamin F. Edwards, we're fiercely independent and focused on one thing, empowering advisors to put clients first, always. We offer personalized advice, guided by your needs, not ours. We are a relationship business. Discover the difference a truly client-first firm can make. Your wealth journey deserves a true partner. Visit BenjaminFEdwards.com. That's BenjaminFEdwards.com. Member SIPC.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Friday afternoon, July 24th. I'm trying to find what I just put my headline. But man adopted as baby discovers his best friend is actually his sister. Dave Green and Andrea Umston bonded as co-workers and friends before they discovered they were brother and sister. Green was adopted as a baby, while Umston grew up knowing she had a brother who'd been adopted. The siblings have since reunited with their birth mother and said that there were lots of tears. Now they're just working to continue the family bond. They've already had this friendship growing for years. Can you imagine?
What is going on out there? Well, the adoption thing I get, and the connection thing I get. But remember, was it yesterday or the day before about the two brothers?
Yeah.
Were switched at birth? This is crazy stuff going on here.
It is very interesting.
Unless you're in school with someone or you work with someone or you meet
Well, they were co-workers.
Co-workers.
If they never worked together, they would have never known. You know?
Well, it's very interesting. So she told him at some point she had a brother who was adopted and his name was Stuart, to which Green replied that his birth name was Stuart Proudlove.
Dun, dun, dun.
Then they started revealing that her maiden name was Proudlove. She said, I went, wait a minute, that was his name? Anyway, then they rang her mom to check her long-lost sibling's birthday and the hospital in which he was born. The location and date, March 24th, 1966. It matched what she had said. She rang him back, told the BBC that they started crying at this point.
I bet.
And they knew what was coming. She said, I said to my mom, I think I found Stuart for you. And she said, it's got to be you. I said, and basically the mom said, I need to see you. And so they went, picked him up. The tears continued. She said the mom had previously tried to find her son with the help from Salvation Army, but it never really came to be. And now here it is.
How amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
Can you imagine that conversation the brother and sister had?
Yeah.
What? Your last name was what?
And then she said, I said to him, out of anybody I know, I would have chosen you to be my brother. I really do think that you are my lottery win. So they've now moved in together. They're making the most of the time they have.
Cool.
Which is fun.
Very cool.
I wonder if they look alike or have similar features.
I don't know, but I do think that one's interesting because I was looking at myself the other day from an interesting angle because I was working out and I was lifting a weight and I looked over and I thought for a second that my niece looked a little like me. Like it was and it is, you have certain genes that are just passed down.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be the hardest part about being adopted.
But what did Heidi say when she left here last night? Her sister and her friends came over before the
genes of
concert.
the sister.
And Heidi goes, that's my sister, the tall blonde one. And Heidi has dark hair and is
5'10".
Not as tall.
sort of short.
Vertically challenged.
Not as tall as her sister.
Very envious of her sister's height.
I don't know if Heidi heard this, but as she walked out, I said to Bob, I said, well, now you know where that chip on her shoulder comes from.
For sure.
But the genetics are funny. For instance, my oldest boy, we think looks like the Boyer family, which is on my wife's side. Kind of looks like Uncle Joe. My daughter is the mini me. Actually, she's an inch taller than Jen, but obviously Jen. And then our youngest is kind of mini me.
Yeah.
And so the
it's so interesting.
And it's really weird to look at someone and say you look like two people at once.
Right. But it does happen
and
all the time.
It's like, what am I looking at here?
Right.
You're the spitting image of both of your parents.
Crazy.
All in one little face.
All crazy. I have to do two here.
All right.
Two roommates in San Francisco spent nearly 2 months listening to unknown intruders inside their walls before they learned they were sharing their space with a family. Heidi, of what?
Raccoons.
I knew she'd say it perfectly.
Did you see? Okay, while you're looking for that,
go ahead.
Did you see a raccoon fell out of the ceiling at LaGuardia? The video is hilarious. People just start running everywhere, and so does the raccoon.
Because everybody's screaming. He's going, what's going on?
Just saying hi.
So the property manager sent an inspector over and confirmed, yep, you got raccoons, and they sprayed the place. But The sounds kept getting more and more intense. And the one guy, Isaac Brodkin, said it was like a horror movie. I couldn't sleep. It went on all night. So he had to go sleep in the living room. Finally, in addition to hearing the baby raccoons chittering, he could hear them feeding. And finally, the mother raccoon broke through his bedroom wall. He ran out, closed the door, and just gave up. Gave him the bedroom.
This happened to Kelly Jackson.
The raccoons now own the house.
And she called me at like 1 a.m. and I didn't answer it, and woke up the next day, called back, and she had got a hold of somebody else. It was in her closet. Like, she did not know what was happening.
Well, and the guy, because it was like a 2-month ordeal.
Yeah.
He said for a while, he'd just run in, grab his clothes, and then close and run out of the bedroom. The KGO television tried to reach expert Heidi Glaus. She had no comment. It's a crazy story. Anyway, here's the other one. And this is also for you, Heidi. Sophie Cunningham's new Adidas shoe.
I saw it.
Sold out in less than an hour.
It's so
online.
crazy.
Did you get a look at the shoe?
I did.
It's a good looking shoe.
Yeah.
Really kind of a clean look. I like it a lot. Anyway, arguably, probably not even arguably, the second most popular player in the WNBA. And I think she could surpass that for overall notoriety. People aren't fans of the NBA, but follow her TikTok and all that other stuff.
It's crazy.
It's really crazy. The Sophie Cunningham PE, a pink gradient colorway, was released Friday morning. $120. That's not a bad price.
No, that's not bad at all.
That is not a bad price at all. So I wouldn't mind having a pair.
All right.
Maybe the kids are listening. That'll be your Christmas.
Wouldn't that be good?
Listen, though, next week we're going to have someone on from a tax resource center to talk about the sales tax holiday
back to school
for back to school shopping. And one of the things in Missouri, I don't know, we're going to try to get Missouri and Illinois and talk about both of them. But articles of clothing, which would include shoes, $100 and less. Because they don't want to give you sales tax free if you're going out buying designer clothes, $100 plus a shirt or whatever. So I don't know if the shoes would count if they're $120. But with kids' shoes, normally they're less than that.
Yeah. And even with adults, you can find, like these Nikes I have on, they're not great shoes, but I think they were like $45. You go to the outlet store. If you do your shopping, you can find stuff.
I think every shoe that I bought have been under $100.
Every shoe? Your whole life?
Recently.
You haven't bought any dress shoes?
Athletic shoes. No, I haven't.
Athletic shoes. Yeah.
I have that. Oh, the Darren shoes. Those were,
But you didn't buy them.
I didn't buy them, though. Darren did. All right. This happened earlier this morning. On hand, Missouri Governor Mike Keogh was there to announce a large investment into the Wentzville GM plant.
So cool.
$157 million investment that GM has announced includes new paint process equipment, 28,000 square foot expansion, and a refurbishing of the paint shop infrastructure. GM said in a press release, the investment builds upon GM's long-term commitment to Wentzville.
Love it.
Strengthening a key manufacturing site with modern paint capabilities that support quality, competitiveness, and the future of the workforce. That's important, keeping employees here. The GM plant employs thousands of people around the St. Louis area. The Chevy Colorado, the GMC Canyon, and other mid-sized pickup trucks are all built out in Wentzville. And the UAW Vice President Mike Booth says this is more than a paint shop upgrade. It's about continuing to invest in an important manufacturing facility and supporting the people who help keep this plant and community strong every day.
Yeah, that's great news.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
They used to make the Chevy Citation.
The Chevy Citation?
One of the worst cars ever.
I don't remember what that looked like.
Because they scrapped it. My dad, it was my first new car. And my dad sort of forced me to get it. It's practical.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
But you did. How long did you have it?
I bet I had it 3 years, something like that.
Look at this thing.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Is this
Is
what
it
looked-
small?
What year was it, Bob?
Yeah, a little 80. I think I got it in 81, maybe.
Oh, look at that.
It kind of looks like a hatchback.
The sedan
I don't
hatchback.
think that's awful.
Well, a little hatchback.
It
It's
was
not bad.
front wheel drive. No, it was really practical.
Yeah.
But had zero style.
Okay.
And you know how Americans are. We're all that way. You got to kind of like it,
Mhm.
right?
I think so, but
Oh, look, it's a 4-door hatchback. I kind of like this. You know,
and front wheel drive.
what's that? That
And good mileage.
That BMW that Lauren drives. It kind of looks like this. There's a bunch of
she's upgraded hers since then.
Oh, she has.
But
there's-
Marsha's looks like that.
Marsha's car looks like this. There's a Honda Civic hatchback
Uh-huh.
that caught my eye one time. It kind of looks like
There's
this.
a Buick. That
Oh, yeah, the Buick.
There's a lot of them that have kind of that shape now.
I would
Buick
say
is really cool.
I would say all of those are the better looking offspring
Of the
citation.
Somebody just said ugliest car ever manufactured on the.
Nice.
I don't know.
You got to start somewhere.
It's in the conversation. I'll
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You know, Bob's like, I used to drive this ugly 4-door hatchback. Now they're all 4-door hatchbacks.
You just started a trend.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's all. I'll tell you this. There's a trend, and it's air condition in America. I think we learned during the World Cup how people were appreciating air condition here. And it's something that maybe most of us take for granted. You definitely take it for granted until it's not working. And that's why you need to have somebody on standby all the time to call for your HVAC needs. And for me, that's Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning. They have a rich history of customer service. They have a rich history of just doing what's right. I mean, this is a company that is founded on integrity, and not everything is going to go perfectly, but Indoor Comfort Team always finishes the job perfectly. Adam, who owns it, knows that his clients, they're more than clients. They're neighbors. He even shares his personal cell phone and will answer calls in the middle of the night because he's dedicated to his customers. This is kind of his passion. And at Indoor Comfort Team, I mean, it's a small business, a locally owned, family-run business, but they're small enough to care, and then they're big enough to handle any job, which is also fantastic. They've got a really cool promotion going on right now. If somebody's come out and given you an opinion and you're thinking, wait a minute, this seems outrageous. Well, Indoor Comfort Team will come out and give you a free second opinion. They'll re-diagnose the system. They'll confirm if, the repair is truly necessary, or if you really need a complete redo, need to replace everything. You can reach Indoor Comfort Team at 314-894-8200. That's 314-894-8200, or find them online at indoorcomfortteam.com. Mike Ward is up next with some summer whites.
We are here with the man, Ryan Raphael. He's the Medicare man of St. Louis. Ryan, one of the biggest misconceptions about Medicare when people reach the age of 65 is if they don't sign up at age 65, they get penalized.
So really what happens is when people are approaching 65, they get all the literature and things coming at them that looks like they have to do something. If somebody is working, they really do not have to sign up for Medicare as long as they're part of an employer of 20 or more employees and they can take it out down the road and not pay penalties.
So if you're over the age of 65 and you have not signed up for Medicare, there's no penalty. There's no reason why you can't do it at age 65, 66, or 67,
That
or
is
70.
correct. Yep.
That is Ryan Raphael. If you're approaching 65 and you have questions about Medicare, he is the man. The Medicare man, STL.com, 314-368-6808, Ryan Raphael. And if you don't trust me, trust my nanny. My nanny says he's the best. Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, MedicareManSTL.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
We need to be very careful in this heat wave. You need to check on mom and dad, check on the neighbors, the senior citizens, the dogs, the cats. You need to be safe in this heat because it can be dangerous. And if your air conditioner has any issues, you call Gelmish & Sons. Why? Because they've been dealing with St. Louis summers since 1950. Gelmish & Sons is on hand, ready to help you in this heat wave. Give them a call, 314-993-1110 or gelmishandsons.com.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green online at jewelsonhampton.com.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. And now,
goes to my head, makes me forget that I still need you so good.
Well, it is Friday, and today we are switching out that red wine glass to a white one. Mike Ward is here to talk about some great white wines that are perfect for summer. And before we get to those, why are there two different glasses for red and white?
Well, it's because red wines need that time to breathe and open up. So there's something called tannins. Tannins are on the skins of the grapes, the red grapes. And in the wine, they have a job to do. They kind of grab onto aromas and flavors, and air actually helps them release those aromas and flavors. Now, we don't think about this for white wine.
Are there tannins in white wine?
They're different. They're different.
Okay.
But they certainly don't have the same function as they do with reds. So you will enjoy your red wines more after air gets into the wine, gets part of the wine.
You never decant a white wine?
Well, I wouldn't say never. There's some older white wines that can use decanting just to kind of let them breathe a little bit. Air is always a good thing. When a wine's been in a bottle for a while without any contact with air, which it shouldn't have in the bottle.
Right.
So when you open it, the air is going to help to, open up the wine. So if you any amount of money you've spent on that wine is going to assist. But then after 24 hours, the air will do the opposite, and it'll start to ruin your wine and oxidize it.
Because it breaks things down and oxidizes it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, talking about the difference between reds and whites. I mean, obviously, if we drink wine, we kind of know the difference between the two of them. But Mike, you gave me a bottle of white port one time.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awesome, and it was just like the red stuff. Is there a way to make a white wine that has the full body of like a red Zinfandel?
Well, there's certain grape varieties that can benefit from like oak barrel aging. And so like Chardonnay, will really kind of improve after it's been into an oak barrel, and it'll be bigger and bolder in its flavors. But there isn't really anything without the tannins, which the red grape skins have. There isn't really much you can do to make it taste like a Cabernet or a Zinfandel or something like that. They are going to be just different. And that's fine because we need all these different options.
Absolutely. We all like something a little bit different, and we like to mix things up. So let's talk about.
Keep me employed.
Yes, it does. Some great white wines. And let's start with Coppola.
So Coppola is a winery that I really enjoy. If you've ever been, you haven't been to, right? No. It's the winery in Sonoma that has the pool, and you can. It's the only winery that has this huge pool.
Wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, full wine.
You can't stay there, can you?
You can't, but you have to rent a cabana there, and then
so you can't
use the
actually
pool
stick
for
your
the day.
toes in the pool.
Yeah, you can. You can swim in the pool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
One of the only wineries in California that also has a restaurant, because they don't allow wineries in California anymore to have restaurants.
They don't?
It was grandfathered in, so they have this amazing Italian restaurant.
Okay.
And so I love their white wines. They make Pinot Grigio that is kind of like Italian in style because of the.
And remind me what
Coppola.
Italian in style means exactly.
A little bit drier and higher acidity. And I mean, it's fantastic. Very refreshing, crisp, great food pairing, and great for this time of year. They make this new wine called Shimmer. I don't know where the Shimmer name came from, but it's a Sauvignon Blanc Pinot Grigio blend. Which you'd never see in Italy or France, but here those grapes complement each other pretty well.
Well, we talk a lot about red blends, and I feel like the red blend section in different stores is getting bigger and bigger. I don't know that I've ever seen a white blend section.
Well, if there is a section, it's small.
Okay.
Because we don't really think of white wines as being blends. We treat them as a single varietal. Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio, that type of thing. But blended together, they are a little bit different than the reds. The reds all kind of have a part in the wine and have a role to play in the wine. But white wines, they tend to not match as well unless you're very careful with your winemaking.
Got it. Okay, so let's go to the Black Stallion Chardonnay.
Well, Black Stallion is one of my favorite wineries. It's located in Napa Valley. However, and they do make Napa Valley wines.
Okay, now to say what a Napa Valley wine is.
It has the fruit comes from the area called Napa Valley.
Okay.
But also, there's a larger place in Northern California called the North Coast. Pretty simple name, but it's an AVA, American Viticultural Area, and it extends Napa, Sonoma, and also Mendocino and Lake counties, which are above Sonoma and Napa. And so this particular Chardonnay from Black Stallion is North Coast on the label. They've also got a Sauvignon Blanc that's North Coast. And that means they're probably using fruit from their winery in Napa and also some fruit from Sonoma, really bringing in different characteristics to the wine.
I've heard of all those regions except Lake. Did you say
Lake County?
Lake County.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that one. Is that newer or just under publicized?
Not as many acres of vines as Napa and Sonoma. And so basically when you're traveling up from, say, San Francisco, Sacramento, you're going to Napa, Sonoma. Now you're going up in elevation. So Mendocino and Lake counties are higher in elevation. They have less acreage because of that. They grow really great Pinot Noir, but there's some great Cabernet there as well. You just don't see those wines as you would on the shelf from Napa and Sonoma. You keep going, and eventually you get to Oregon, and you're really going kind of up the hill there.
So will you remind me, do we still, are we looking at Chardonnays being buttery or oaky, or is that a thing of the past?
You know what's so good about buttery and oaky and that terminology is that's winemaker decisions. So, if we're talking about Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand or whatever, That's really more like we're going to take those grapes and do as little as possible to them because that wine's already going to taste great. With Chardonnay, if you choose oak barrel aging or another treatment that winemakers can use on the wine, it's a winemaking treatment that'll create creaminess and buttery. It's almost a texture type thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all winemaking. So the nice thing about it is, well, let me start by saying the difficult thing about it is you look at the wall of Chardonnays and you don't know.
Right. So what about this Black Stallion? How do you describe it?
It is all the things. It's very balanced. I want to see some fruit from the wine, which you get, that nice green apple. That's part of the grape that'll give it that. But I also want to see a little bit of oak. Oak creates vanilla. And then that just a little bit of that buttery, creamy characteristic because I probably want to put it with some pasta or something.
My mouth is watering right now.
Not red sauce pasta. And so it's balanced. When it's over oaked, I'm in the wine business. I'm tasting a lot of wines. It's all research.
Of course.
And when something's over oaked, or if it's too much affected by sugar, I'm always thinking, well, what's wrong with this wine? And why did they do that? Was it a mistake or was it intentional? I want the wine to be balanced.
Got it. So
some oak, but a little not overly done.
Do some Chardonnays still go a little more oaky or a little more buttery, or all of them are more balanced these days?
Pretty amazing that consumers' palates have dictated to wineries that they are not appreciating the overly oaked buttery wines anymore. And winemakers are more and more making balanced wines that aren't just, it isn't like picture a wooden stave with a thing of butter pushed into it, and that's all you taste. You got to taste more than that. You want a
and
little
that's what
bit of that.
winemakers are doing today.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the Stoneleigh Sauvignon Blanc.
So New Zealand is this fantastic area for the Sauvignon Blanc.
Why
grape.
is that? It's just because of the climate and the soil?
All the things in New Zealand, yes, climate, soil, cool climate, that maritime sort of climate. It's this tiny little country with 2 islands that really make great wine, but not every grape variety. So there is a little small place in New Zealand where you can grow Cabernet Sauvignon. There's only one, but the rest of New Zealand, you need more cool climate grapes. And Sauvignon Blanc has been there probably since the 1960s or 70s. It became more world famous in the 1990s, and it just found this great home where that particular grape variety, and it is one of the world's oldest grape varieties, performs really well in that environment. South Island, eastern side, the western side is the Southern Alps, so it blocks all of the weather coming in west to east. That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's so interesting. Sauvignon Blanc is Marsha's go-to. And if we're out and about and she doesn't see one of her favorites, she always says, do you have a New Zealand? Do they just make it better there?
Better? No, different.
Okay.
Different. And on a quick side note, a couple weeks ago, the actor that was in Jurassic Park passed away?
Yes. Sam Neill.
Did you know that he made wine in New Zealand?
No.
Yeah, I just saw that pop up. The little place called Central Otago, which is as far south as you can go before you get to the Arctic. Apparently he was a winemaker. I've never had his wines, but I saw that in a wine publication. That
Very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just sorry. Side note.
No, I love the side notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stoneleigh Sauvignon Blanc, how do you describe it?
Well, you get a little bit of that grapefruit, and that's what's unique about in New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. Sometimes you drink it, you're like, oh, they add grapefruit to this?
Really?
Never do that.
But that's how powerful the grapefruit is.
What that particular aroma coming from the grapes that grow there reflects. And also another thing, and people are going to know what I'm talking about when I say this. When you go out, you start that lawnmower up and you start cutting grass, you get that smell, that freshly cut grass. And New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc has a lot of that. And
You're kidding.
Yeah. I mean, it just smells like you had just put some grapefruits down in the grass after you crack.
And then
those are some things about
I'm gonna
it.
try that when I go home.
Very descriptive. I like it.
Give it a try. Yeah. Everybody's going to know what I mean. And then if you don't know open up a bottle of Stoneleigh and you'll smell it and you go, oh, that's what it is.
The Gap, years ago, they used to offer a fragrance called Fresh Cut Grass.
Yeah.
And they sold out. And I don't know why they never tried to put it back out again, but people love that smell.
Do you think that's a popular smell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It sort of reminds me of allergies. But
Funny.
Indeed.
yeah.
All right,
yeah.
we got one more that we want to talk about this afternoon. Relax Riesling.
So this is from Germany. So we're bouncing all around the world today. From Germany, from Schmidt-Schona Winery, the blue bottle. Everybody's seen the blue bottle. And all their wines are great. It's a woman-owned company. And Juliana, it's actually a couple of years ago, was on our show. She called in from Germany. Relax Riesling is one of their products there. And it is just that. I mean, it's not super, super sweet, but it does have some residual sugar.
Okay.
And that's what I look for in a Riesling. Now, if you are going out and having some sushi this weekend, either the Stoneleigh or the Relax Riesling, especially if you like the wasabi, the Relax Riesling is going to be a perfect match. When you think about a little bit of residual sugar in a wine, don't associate it as a dessert wine. That's not what we're talking about.
Oh.
Just because a wine has a little sweetness, it really does not pair well. I shouldn't say that. You can, but it's tougher to pair with dessert. It pairs much better with spicy foods.
Spicy food.
Is that a balance thing again on
It
the
is
palate?
a balance thing. And when the dish has some spice, we're not talking about ghost pepper spice, but
Right.
when it has some spice, then the balanced sweetness of the wine will sort of cool off that spice a little bit.
Without covering it up.
Without covering it, because you actually can taste it better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one final thought as we talk about all these great white wines. Do all of them, because we've got a white blend, we've got a Chardonnay, we've got a Sauvignon Blanc, and we've got a Riesling, are they all supposed to be chilled the same way, or do you chill a Chardonnay differently than a Sauvignon Blanc?
That Chardonnay, that's a great question.
Yeah.
That Chardonnay can stand to be a little bit warmer, not warm,
Okay.
of course not. But
Not
50
as
degrees,
cold as
not-
a...
Yeah, not as cold. I mean, I would do it
50-ish, a little less.
50. Yeah, actually, and we've talked about this on the show before.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir, red wine, and Chardonnay, white wine, same serving temperature, 50, 55 degrees for both, especially in the summer. But the Sauvignon Blanc, the blend, and the Riesling, I would drink it right out of the refrigerator, but it's going to be even better when it warms up about 5 to 10 degrees. If you are taking...
So about 40-ish?
Yeah, about 40 degrees.
45.
You'll start to, you'll really notice those aromas. If you're going outside, be aware of that, because you don't want the wine getting warm, but you want to keep it at that temperature. So have a cooler, have some way to keep it cool.
Ice it down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, freezing cold, that's what we're used to. But I will tell you that there's more aromas and flavors after it warms up just a little bit.
Okay. And of course, if somebody has any of these great white wines we just mentioned, they can always reach you at
Mike at wardonwine.com.
All right. Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Did you know Florissant is 240 years old this year? Come out and celebrate 240 years of Florissant at the historic Old St. Ferdinand Shrine. Join the City of Florissant and Old Town Partners for an evening of community and fun. Festivities begin at 5:30 with the unveiling of a 240th anniversary plaque, followed by live music from Northwind's Band at 6 and a family-friendly movie beginning at 7:30. Food and drinks will be available from Knights of Columbus 2951, sponsored by CNB St. Louis Bank and Helpers. Come celebrate Florissant's past, present, and future. We'll see you at the Old St. Ferdinand Shrine.
It's Wednesday, July 29th. Join in the celebration.
It's the GOAT, the greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. Summer sticker sales event with approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to sign. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell and Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Okay, you've decided you want to get away. You want to travel. You want to see the world. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details. You handle all the fun. You don't know where to stay. You don't have to worry about transfers. What about your luggage? What about a tour guide? You don't want a tour guide. Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. You're in a different country. You want to go see the Sistine Chapel. You're going to need a tour guide. Let Altair Travel handle all those details. You handle all the fun. 314-968-9600. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
You're selling your home and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 4:47. Let's check in with Captain Paul, see how traffic's moving along.
Heidi, this traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. In Jefferson County, there's an accident on 141 South at Fiedler with stop-and-go traffic back to Gravois. 64 West is stop-and-go from Prospect to I-70. 64 East bogs down around 170. In Wentzville, 61 North is jammed between Pittman and Route P. In Illinois, 64 East is crowded from 157 to 159. 64-55 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. And 55-70 West busy between 255 and Illinois 111. This traffic report also brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free Family Movie Night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
We finally know where LeBron James will be playing this season. Randy Carricker, host of the Fight on Metrics Midwest and the Randy Carricker Show podcast, is here to talk sports. Did you have Philly on your bingo card?
Not at the beginning. And it was after they made the Jaylen Brown trade, and you kind of read about interest. I still didn't think, because of what I think LeBron is, I didn't think that he would go there, because I think LeBron's all about the storyline. So I thought, okay, go back to Miami,
Yes.
or go back to Cleveland, or go to Golden State and be with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry, where you at least won gold medals. This is the least storyline for LeBron, but it's the best chance to win. I don't know if they'll get games out of Joel Embiid, their center, but they have an emerging superstar in VJ Edgecombe, who was great last year. Tyrese Maxey is already a superstar. Embiid is terrific. And then they get Jaylen Brown from Boston. It's going to be one of the great offenses in history. Now, there might not be enough basketballs to go around, but it'll be fun to watch. So once I kind of marinated on it a little bit today, I thought, okay, well, he wants to win again.
Yeah. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's about winning maybe one more championship, right?
Yeah, he's got the 4, and he's not going to get to 6. He's not going to be as good as the best player ever to play, but he does have a better opportunity here, certainly than Golden State, because the West is so loaded.
Mm-hmm.
But Cleveland has limitations, and Miami definitely has limitations. And I think with this team, I think he's got a really good chance. The other thing is LeBron really likes to be in control. Mm-hmm. And I would think that part of this is he's probably in with Josh Harris, their owner, who's also an owner of the Washington Commanders, also owns the New Jersey Devils. There has to be a future for LeBron here, too. Like Magic is a partner in the Commanders' ownership with Josh Harris. I have to believe that's part of it, too.
Oh, that makes sense.
It'll be interesting to see. Everyone will be watching to see if drama unfolds. Mm-hmm. Because he needing to be the show, needing to be in charge, and these other players who are already accomplished players. So that'll be an interesting. And I'm not saying it won't work. It might be all hunky dory and everybody's happy. But it'll be interesting to watch.
But one thing that I didn't think would happen, and obviously, well, maybe not, because Jaylen Brown is a great player. Obviously, Embiid's a great player. When he had to play with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic last year, he was a point guard. And he was more than willing to distribute the basketball. So maybe he will fit in better than, because I think everybody has the perception that he's a selfish player, right? That he's got to have the ball at the end. Maybe not.
All right. So MLB does not have a salary cap. You could load up the Dodgers all you want and win championships all day long. You can load up the Mets all you want and win. Oh, wait.
But
the NBA does. When I heard this story, I said, well, who are they going to have to get rid of? LeBron signs 2 years, $8 million. What do you make of that?
Well, they have these mid-level exceptions in the NBA, and with where he is at the age of 41, and with the amount of money that good teams are already spending on players, there was nothing left for him if he wanted to go to a decent team, but to take that. This is actually less than the mid-level exception, but this is a guy that's made $50 and $60 million a year, and if you want to win. And he's a billionaire. You should be able to get by on $4 million a year.
He'll be okay. Mizzou picked to finish 10th in the SEC poll. Do you agree with that?
For football?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there's so many question marks. I can't disagree with it. Number one, their program just doesn't have the history of most of the programs in the SEC, but we don't know about their quarterback, Austin Simmons. We don't know if their best running back will be available. Their starting right tackle is going to miss probably the season, and it's a completely new look defense. And this is the kind of thing that Eli Drinkwitz lives for. He loves to put a chip on his team's shoulder and then come out and surprise people.
So one of the things that we do, and this is to give Mizzou fans hope, one of the things that all of us do in the media when we look to make predictions or cover an event is we always consider the unknown as a negative, that it's the unknown will be a negative result. And that's not always true. And that's what Drinkwitz will be out to prove.
Right. And like there's a running back that they recruited out of Houston Baptist of all. But who knew at this time Ahmad Hardy last year? A guy named Zayshawn Edwards, running back out of Houston Baptist. And I think Drink is kind of underplaying him, but they're really excited about him. And then Donovan Alubade, great receiver last year who should be able to be a number one. Austin Simmons, people were surprised that the Mizzou quarterback, left-hander, he was developed by Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, and people thought that he would follow Kiffin to LSU, and he winds up coming to Missouri, and he's a talented guy. Hey, if Lane Kiffin is developing a quarterback,
and one of them,
I'm on board with that. So I think offensively they'll be interesting. My only question, I wish they wouldn't have lost their pass rusher from last year, Damon Wilson, left in the portal to Miami. They're going to have to manufacture pass rush somehow defensively, especially when you're going against the schools that you're going against in this conference. So I think that'll be an interesting part of this season to watch.
The Chiefs shared renderings of what the new domed stadium is going to look like. What do you think?
The first thing I said to myself was, that looks like a giant Calgary Saddle Dome. And
it does look like a saddle.
Yeah.
Very good.
But the renderings are always beautiful for new stadiums. I was told by somebody that would know that it will cost the state of Kansas $1 billion more to bring the Chiefs across the state line than it'll cost Indiana to bring the Bears to Indiana. $1 billion more. And over 30 years, apparently it's going to be $6.3 billion out of the pockets of Kansas taxpayers. So the stadium better be beautiful.
Yeah, it sure better.
If they can get a Super Bowl, and I don't know if they can get into the Final Four rotation. You know, they used to be, Kansas City is where the NCAA was located. Now it's in Indy, and Indy has a regular spot. But with all the beautiful stadiums around now, I don't know that the KC will be able to get into the rotation. But the stadium looks great. And I don't know if you guys saw today, but Andy Reid announced that Patrick Mahomes is a full go for practice. So he'll probably be ready for opening day.
I'm excited about it.
I'm not surprised. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Randy, you're the king of trying to keep an NFL team in town. What do you think about the Chiefs going over to Kansas? Are you great? This is great. Let Kansas pay for it.
That's exactly the way I think. And from a perception standpoint, if you're in Los Angeles, if you're in New York, if you're in Miami, you're going to see on TV that they're the Kansas City Chiefs. You don't know that they're in Kansas or Missouri. It doesn't make any difference at all. So that's exactly what it is. It's a money deal on the part of Kansas. And I just wonder how they're going to generate the revenue, because they're not going to make $6.3 billion off of that franchise being there.
That's going to be crazy. Don't forget that the president thought they were in Kansas when they won the Super Bowl.
And I was just going to say, I would tell you most Americans not from this area didn't know Kansas City was in Missouri.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Can they call this new stadium Arrowhead?
They can. I would think that, is it GEHA?
Yeah.
Whoever will buy the naming rights. But yeah, I guess they could call it Arrowhead if they want, but fans will never call it Arrowhead because there's only one Arrowhead.
And there's nothing like it.
Right.
Diamondbacks beat the Cardinals 10-6 yesterday, but can you find any positives to talk about the performance?
Well, they always are willing in the end, and the Cardinals gave it a run in the ninth inning. And I talked to Adam Wainwright a couple of days ago and said, hey, what should we be concerned about? He said, Randy, they're rebuilding.
Yes. Yeah. We all forget that because they've been so surprisingly good.
But they're a really young team, and it's hard for an experienced team to go through a season and be successful all the time. And when you haven't played for 6 months, and remember, you played a lot of ball, but when you're trying to play for 6 months and traveling for the first time and dealing with what a lot of these young players are dealing with, it's really hard. And that's what they're building towards now. And one thing, in talking to people that have played at the major league level, that this team really could use is a veteran presence, leadership within that clubhouse.
Yep.
And I don't know if Heim will do that on the 3rd. We're only a week and a half away now from the trade deadline. But that's one thing that when I talk to old major leaguers, they say that's what this team needs.
And don't you think, isn't it pretty clear that fans, if the wins and losses, you live and die by it like we have our whole lives, but you can really see the core of the club developing right in front of us.
And half of it might not be there. And half of all prospects wash out. So like Victor Scott, it's not a surprise if you've watched for 40 or 50 years that Victor Scott and Nolan Gorman washed out. You hope they'll make it. But the first 4 in the lineup, and I don't know why people are down. Well, I guess because they're impatient. But J.J. Weatherholt is fine. People are down on Herrera because he had a bad month. But Alec Burleson, I think, is the most underrated player on the team. Very serviceable. You can win with him. I'm a big fan, as we all are, of Jordan Walker. I don't think that Lars Nootbaar is here for the long term, although I think he's a good player and he's a guy that you can win with.
Agreed.
But then the other half of the starting lineup, you're getting nothing out of center field. You're getting nothing out of left field. You're getting nothing out of third base. And the DH/catcher situation is iffy. And as much as these starting pitchers have done this year, and they're 10th in Major League Baseball in ERA, which is shocking, but probably 4 of these starters won't be starters when they're ready to win in a couple of years.
I bet that's right.
Yeah, it's so interesting. We love your perspective. Tonight, the Cardinals actually host the Reds, and we can watch the game on Matrix Midwest and Channel 4.
It is on Matrix Midwest and Channel 4, and this will be a fun homestand with the Reds and then the Cubs in town for 4 next week. And I would think the Cubs will be another team that's doing stuff at the trade deadline. But I think the Cardinals could max out everything at the trade deadline, and they still wouldn't be as good as the Dodgers. So, so the way they're building with a level of patience, I don't know if I told you guys this. Chaim Bloom said on opening day to me, he said, we could go 162-0 and it wouldn't change my approach, that we have to build for the future. And we just don't have enough of a foundation yet to build for the future. So I'm totally on board with what they're doing.
I love it. And Randy, we love having you in. You have an open invite anytime. You can hear Randy here with McGraw every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. You can watch him on The Fight at 10 weeknights on Matrix Midwest and the Randy Carricker Show podcast on STL Sports Central. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you so much.
Your retirement isn't just numbers on a statement. It's your family, your time, and your future. Listen to the Financial Safari with Greg Belger. Sundays at 5 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Big 550.
KTRS. St. Louis.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. The U.S. continues striking Iranian assets in the region while Iran and one of its main proxy groups is also attacking. The U.S. conducted a 13th day of strikes. The Houthis have been targeting ships in a major strait in the Red Sea, known as the Bab al-Mandab Strait. ABC's Matt Rivers.
We're alongside the Red Sea and what really is shaping up to be yet another front in this ongoing conflict between Iran and the United States. And yet this new front could have a massive impact on the global economy as we watch this all play out. Multiple Saudi oil tankers have been targeted recently in the Red Sea by the Houthis in Yemen. That's the Iranian-backed rebel group. They're part of what that group is calling a maritime embargo on Saudi Arabia. President Trump responding, saying if they do this again, the U.S. will hold Iran responsible.
More than 500 incoming Howard University freshmen learned this week they have been unenrolled from the prestigious HBCU and no longer have spots for the fall semester starting August 17th. A Secret Service agent assigned to Vice President Vance is facing an investigation related to leaking travel details. According to MS Now, some agents had been frustrated with Vance's last-minute travel plans that have been unrelated to his job, like a helicopter ride to a golf lesson. That reporting has not been verified by ABC News. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
The Secret Service says an agent on Vice President J.D. Vance's detail is facing an internal investigation and even a potential criminal probe over accusations this unnamed agent leaked information about the Vice President's travel, compromising his security. A Secret Service spokesperson telling ABC News that, quote, any conduct that potentially threatens the safety of a protectee will not be tolerated.
NASCAR Hall of Famer Jimmy Johnson can now boast another honor, becoming the first racer to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The 7-time series champion received his official spots for sports and entertainment today. The 50-year-old makes his final Cup start at next year's Daytona 500. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Good afternoon. It's 74 degrees at 5:03. I'm David Solomon, and here's what's happening. Police are seeking the public's help in finding a suspect in an attempted child abduction in St. John. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
Police say an unknown man approached an 8-year-old girl near the intersection of Natural Bridge and Clearview last week. He then grabbed her and told her to come with him. The department said the man let her go and ran off when her dog started barking and she screamed. Now, the suspect is described as a white man in his 30s with brown, unkempt hair and blue eyes. He also has a gold tooth and possibly missing another tooth and an eagle tattoo on top of one of his hands. Anyone with any information should call St. John Police. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
City lawmakers are urging St. Louis Public Schools to postpone the final vote on a proposal that could close almost 24 campuses. Alderwomen Pam Boyd and Daniela Velasquez have filed a resolution calling on the St. Louis School Board and the city to delay any final action on its Future Ready plan until more opportunities are provided for public engagement. St. Louis Public Schools is considering closing 15 to 22 campuses in a restructuring plan that the district says is aimed at addressing several long-term challenges, including a $41 million budget deficit. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has signed a bill into law that will protect consumers from being charged fees when service providers fail to give adequate notice before arriving at a residence. State Senator Christopher Belt of the Metro East sponsored the bill. The new law requires companies to provide customers with a service window of no more than 2 hours. If the window exceeds 2 hours, it must call the customer at least an hour before arriving. In addition, companies will be prohibited from charging fees related to a missed visit if it fails to provide the required notice and the customer is not home. The school year is fast approaching, and with it comes a number of back-to-school giveaways. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has more.
There are several back-to-school events coming up on Saturday. In Ferguson, Athenia Healthcare is hosting an event at the Ferguson Health Center on Pershaw Road. Free school supplies will be available while supplies last, with physicals, immunizations, free haircuts, face paintings, and more between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Cross Keys Baptist Church will be giving away backpacks and personal care items from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the church on New Halls Ferry Road in Florissant. And in St. Charles, the Boys and Girls Club of St. Charles County is hosting a back-to-school bash with one backpack per school-age child in attendance while supplies last. That runs from 10 a.m. until noon at the Boys and Girls Club on Lindenwood Avenue in St. Charles. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florists, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment has been awarded a Youth Build grant worth more than $1.2 million from the U.S. Department of Labor. The funding will be used to help young people overcome barriers to education and employment while preparing for family-sustaining careers in high-demand industries. Let's take a look now at the closing markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow gained 235 points to close at 51,947. The NASDAQ fell 161 points, closing at 24,975. The S&P 500 climbed up 3 points to 7,411. KTRS News Time is 5:07. Let's head over to the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, where we find Paul Kopsky.
David Dustin May takes the mound tonight for the Cardinals as they open a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals have lost 5 of their last 6 contests. And St. Louis City SC takes a 6-game unbeaten streak into tomorrow night's game against the Colorado Rapids at Energizer Park. City SC shut out the Rapids 1-0 in Colorado back on May 9th and holds down 8th place in the Western Conference. The Rapids, who are coming off a 1-0 win over San Diego on Wednesday, are in 11th place in the West. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. We have a crash on the ramp from 64 East to 270. 64 West is stop and go from Prospect to I-70. 64 East bogs down around 170. In Illinois, 64 East is crowded from 157 to 159. 64-55 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. And 5570 West is crowded between 255 and Black Lane. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And in your KTRS First Alert forecast tonight, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms with a low around 68. Scattered showers and storms remain tomorrow morning before the skies gradually clear and we hit a high near 88. Increasing clouds tomorrow night with a low around 74. And then Sunday is a first alert weather day. A heat advisory goes into effect at 11 a.m., lasting until 9 p.m. Monday. Mostly sunny with highs near 94 and heat indices topping 105. It is currently 74 degrees under cloudy skies at 5:09 at the KTRS studios underneath the Gold Tower at Westport Plaza. I'm David Solomon, KTRS News on the Talk of St. Louis.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be hosting another family movie night at Westport Plaza for a free showing of The Sandlot, Friday, July 31st. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza and bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Whew, only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. So come out to Movie Friday, July 31st for a special screening of The Sandlot. Or visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Appliance Discounters, Schnarr's Hardware, Connor Roofing, Metal Exchange, the St. Louis Cardinals, and Altair Travel.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Oh, I could listen to it all night
It
long.
really is a great song.
It is.
And usually I like songs more up tempo
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but that's a really terrific song.
It is. You know, it's Friday. We're in the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to have a little fun right now. I want to know.
Bring us some drink?
Well,
No. Okay.
Yes. Waiter, how many jingles can you finish? So this is going to be a little test between the two of you.
Uh-oh.
And you guys can weigh in, of course,
We'll have to-
on the KTRS text line.
We'll collaborate.
84126.
No, we'll go ahead, Dad.
Okay.
All right, so you've got some.
I've got some here. Yeah. Are you ready?
What if I'm close?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Oh, what a relief it is.
I knew that.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Yeah,
Almond Joy has
yeah.
nuts. Moms don't. Because
That's right.
We got a thing here.
Yeah. The best part of waking
There's
up.
Folgers in your cup.
I mean, isn't it? What is it that makes these so good that we stick in our head? Is it the rhyme? Is it the fun?
It'd be interesting to find an accomplished jingle writer.
Yes.
To say how they come up with a hook and then maybe a psychologist to say why it's a hook and why our brains dig it.
the jingle writer could say, this doesn't work.
Right.
I've tried this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe simpler the better.
Maybe.
And it's got to be sing-songy.
Because you got to. Everybody's got to be able to sing it.
By Menon.
Have you seen? There's an Office episode. Andy, played by Ed Helms, has this jingle in his head, but he can't remember what the last line. He goes, "Give me a break me off a piece of that foreign car." No, it's like, and nobody's helping him. Like Jim, tells everyone, "Don't help him." And for the whole episode, he's trying to figure this out, and then at the end, he goes, "Break me off a piece of that fancy feast." Cat food. Yeah, he never
He
gets
never.
it.
Oh,
He
boy.
never
That's
gets it.
good.
Kit Kat bar. How do you not get
How
that
do you not
one?
get it? How do you
Yeah.
not get
All right. I don't want to grow up. I'm a.
Toys R Us kid.
That's right.
There's a
Yep.
million things at Toys R Us that I could play with. From
Mhm.
bikes to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is. I don't want to grow up because if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Very well done.
James Patterson, the author of A Billion Books,
Yes.
A Billion Books, was in advertising before he became an author, and he came up with that dream.
No way.
That was it.
That's a good
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good one. My Bologna has a first name.
It's OSCAR.
My Bologna has a second name.
It's M-A?
M-E, isn't it?
M-E-Y-E-R. M-A-Y-E-R.
It's
I was told there'd be no spelling.
No, that's right. We got it right.
It's because of Oscar Mayer that I know how to spell. Bologna. Bologna, B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Oscar Mayer is with an A.
Oh, it is. Okay, I would have been wrong on that one. Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Yep. I'd like to teach
The world. Is that Coke? Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Perfect harmony.
I am stuck on Band-Aids.
And Band-Aids stuck on me.
I'm a pepper.
You're a pepper.
He's a pepper.
Oh, Dr. Pepper.
You're a pepper.
Oh, doctor.
All right, one more. I think this is probably the hardest one. If you dare wear short shorts.
Nair.
Good call.
Yeah,
well
for
done, Josh.
short shorts.
What
Nice
is
job.
it Nair for short
Yeah,
shorts?
Nair for short shorts.
Huh.
Well done, sir. Because that's before your time.
And I want to say the guy, have you guys seen Jersey Boys?
Yes.
Okay. The guy that they picked to join the Four Seasons was like a 14-year-old kid writing jingles. And I think he wrote that, "Who wears short shorts?" Na, 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 na. And then they get him to join the Four Seasons. And the rest is history.
A couple people are pointing out on the text line, Barry Manilow wrote a lot of jingles. I think he wrote the Band-Aid one.
Yeah.
That's how he made his money early on.
Yeah. We need a list of Barry Manilow. Josh, will you look it up? See
I
which
will.
ones he did. Just a couple of things. It's National Drive-Through Day. So the fastest, the slowest, and the friendliest fast food lines. This was recently analyzed. And as for the fastest, Taco Bell ranked number one.
Fastest?
For the 5th consecutive year in a row, total time.
Okay.
Yeah. With an average total time just over 4 minutes.
Okay.
KFC is second.
Oh, really?
Let's see. Chick-fil-A, Dutch Brothers, Raising Cane's have the most cars in line on average. Arby's has the emptiest drive-throughs. Dutch Brothers has the best order accuracy.
I don't know Dutch Brothers.
That's coffee. And we're getting more and more of them around here. Chick-fil-A may be a long line, but when asked about friendliness, Chick-fil-A is always number one.
Here's what a mild dispute of that. They have more traffic than anybody, but relative to the amount of traffic, I think they're the fastest.
They move it through. They've got a system.
And they're clearly the friendliest.
Yeah. And when asked about overall satisfaction, Chick-fil-A was again number one.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. And one more thing, since we're talking fast food real quickly, Burger King is going to offer free Whoppers if the order comes out wrong with a new Whopper guarantee. It was just announced last week. So if it doesn't meet a guest's expectations, the brand will not only continue to remake it on the spot, but they'll offer the guest next Whopper for free.
It's funny. I never ordered a Whopper. Never in my life. I'm a double cheeseburger guy.
I used to always get the Whopper. I was always a Whopper or a
Whopper Junior.
Little Whopper Junior. I like a little Whopper. I also like the what's the McDonald's? The
Big Mac.
The Big
Quarter
Mac.
pounder with
Yeah,
cheese.
Big Mac.
At Burger King, I like that long chicken sandwich that they put on that hoagie
really?
roll. I like that.
Yeah.
But recently, my wife has stumbled upon this, and we've been doing it consistently all summer. We will make burgers on the grill. I'll try to flame broil them as much as I can.
Really?
And then we'll do Whopper toppings: lettuce, tomato, raw onion, mayo, ketchup, mustard,
The Josh Whopper.
pickle.
Wow.
And it is so good.
Sounds
It is
pretty
so
good. I think we're all getting hungry right
Yes,
now.
I think you're right.
All right, Barry Manilow. Before we go to commercial break, Barry Manilow wrote the Band-Aid song in 1971. Same year, he wrote the State Farm.
He wrote the State Farm?
Same year, 1971, like a
He
good
was on a
neighbor.
roll.
Yeah,
he composed the music for a Stridex acne fighting pad commercial. He wrote the Pepsi campaign song Feelin' Free. I'm not familiar with it, but it was back in the day. And apparently KFC had a jingle, Grab a Bucket of Chicken. That's what the jingle was called. And he wrote that as well. He won a Clio Award in 1976 for the Band-Aid song.
Well, look at that.
That's pretty cool.
We need to be very careful in this heat wave. You need to check on mom and dad, check on the neighbors, the senior citizens, the dogs, the cats. You need to be safe in this heat because it can be dangerous. And if your air conditioner has any issues, you call Gelmish & Sons. Why? Because they've been dealing with St. Louis summers since 1950. Gelmish & Sons is on hand, ready to help you in this heat wave. Give them a call, 314-993-1110 or gelmishandsons.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Carney. Fuck. Monday's show might sound a little bit different, not so much because Julie's coming back to the mix, but because we're broadcasting live from Florissant. Meet us at St. Ferdinand Shrine Schoolhouse for the show. Also, Rob Silverstein and the history of women in football. True story. We'll have it. See you at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck, weekdays at noon on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
President Trump will attend the rescheduled White House Correspondents' dinner tonight, 3 months after the annual dinner ended abruptly when shots rang out. Ben Siegel, ABC News Deputy Political Director in Washington, joins us with the latest. What's the Secret Service Director saying? Have they gone and taken extra measures tonight?
Yeah, well, first of all, there will be much tighter security at this dinner, this 2.0. This is at a different hotel as well, not the Washington Hilton, but the Waldorf Astoria. There will only be one entrance to this place. And from what we've heard from the White House Correspondents Association, there will be enhanced security and several more layers. They've been working with a private firm in addition to the Secret Service. And unlike the first dinner, every guest will have to register to get in, and they will get unique QR codes to present with IDs to get through ticketing. So it seems like there are going to be more rigid layers of security here. And additionally, it's going to be a smaller event. So that will be easier from a security perspective, about 700 people instead of around 2,000.
And I got to tell you, the way that the news cycle works, I almost forgot that this was even a thing. I mean, a White House Correspondents' dinner getting shot up, someone taken into custody, the whole thing had to be canceled. Everything's on video. And remind us, when did this happen? Was this 1 month ago, a month and a half?
It was 3, I think. It feels like 10 years, but I think it was at the end of April. This is usually when it happens in the end of April. And it's, I think, they call it Nerd Prom. It's the whole thing for the whole town of Washington. Everybody, goes to different events leading up to it. And in addition to a celebration, it is a great event for, scholarships that are presented to younger journalists. Awards are given out for exemplary White House coverage and careers. For example, a colleague of mine at ABC News, the trailblazing photographer Melissa Young, who was one of the first women to be a camera person at the White House, she was scheduled to get honored in April, and that was postponed, obviously, because of the shooting that happened. So she will be honored tonight, which is a great a great thing to celebrate. But if you weren't in the business or paying attention to the news, it would have. You're right. It would have fallen off most people's radars, especially at this time of the summer as well.
Well, congratulations to your colleague. And I guess you just answered my next question of why even redo it. But it's more than just kind of shaking hands and hobnobbing.
I think that's right. I think if the association wanted to present these awards to these journalists for their coverage of the White House, for their coverage of politics, obviously the president, as we all saw, was really determined to have this event. He wanted to keep the other one going in April at the time after the attempted, shooting there, but he was told that was not a good idea, and many people had left. So definitely, journalists on one side wanted to keep this event going, this commemoration going, and the president on his side wanted to celebrate the night as well. He had a speech that he was going to give. He will still give that. Tonight, the mentalist Oz Perlman will present once again and do some sleight of hand. So that should be interesting as well for all the attendees.
And, it's interesting. I thought I saw a quote from the association, maybe even the head of the association, that, there's an element of not wanting to be intimidated by violence, and that journalism is stronger than that. And I think that is important to convey that.
I think that's exactly right. From the journalists and from the president as well.
Yeah.
The insistence to make sure events go on as normal, not to let things like this change the way people go about their business and their lives.
Well, elsewhere in Washington, the Democratic Party is set to take a key step towards determining its calendar for the first set of presidential nominating parties. What else do you know about this?
We had a key panel on the Democratic National Committee vote to make South Carolina the first state in the 2028 nomination process. And that would be a big shakeup of the calendar that previously had seen, at least before 2024, Iowa and New Hampshire be the first states to help vet the presidential field. So this will be ratified by the full DNC in August. But it looks like South Carolina will go first. There were some other changes around the margins: Michigan, Nevada, New Mexico, Virginia moving up in the rotation as well. But still some questions to answer. But for now, a very different dynamic that will be playing out at the start of the Democratic primary next year.
And Ben, in your experience covering politics in Washington, covering elections, it does seem weird which states go first. It almost seems like New Hampshire and Iowa pick who's going to run for president that year.
It certainly has that feeling sometimes. And, the arguments that were fascinating to listen to from the different states today, because, there are arguments made about different groups of voters, and do they represent the country? Do they represent the places that are important to the elections in November, in the general election? South Carolina, was pivotal in propelling Joe Biden forward in 2020, and he helped reward that state in 2024. It's maintained its status now. But there was also some frustration from, New Hampshire, where by law, the state has requires its primary go first. So there's some tension right now between the state-run official primary date, which is on the rule books and the law in New Hampshire, and what the Democratic Party has now done. Now, will there be any penalties for the state carrying out primaries that are not blessed by the party? It's an interesting dynamic that'll continue to play out.
And this is just going off anecdotal memory, but in 2024 on the Republican side, Nikki Haley dropped out before any of the big states even weighed in. It's like she had such little momentum from these little states, but there are so many more people out there. She kind of bowed out before a majority of the people even weighed in.
I think that's true. And that's, another part of this process. We've usually in the past seen South Carolina as the third state up traditionally. South Carolina voters have really dealt with a winnowed field. It starts big in Iowa and New Hampshire, and then it sort of thins out. Now the jury's out about how this process is going to work, right? If these states are changing their order, they have different numbers of delegates. Will people stay in these races longer? Could there be more people still in the mix by the time you get to Super Tuesday, at least on the Democratic side? That will all be very interesting to watch. I think we're in very uncharted territory.
And Ben, just to kind of walk us through it, the reason for them changing this up is just because South Carolina was so pivotal?
I think it was a mix of different things. I think South Carolina was pivotal to President Biden, and he rewarded the state in 2024, and it was moved up. I think there was frustration on the part of the caucus not being run effectively in 2020. And also those states, which are very homogenous, demographically, and not very diverse states, Iowa and New Hampshire, some thought in the Democratic Party and some corners of the party that, the candidates who would do well in those states would maybe not represent Democratic Party voters as a whole, and that there was maybe a different way demographically to have different voters have more influence over the primary process than voters in Iowa and voters in New Hampshire, who, according to some Democrats, may not be as representative of the full party and the full country.
Yeah, and that was kind of my point. Iowa is not the rest of the country, but everything kind of hinges on what happens in that state early on. Ben, you are the ABC News Deputy Political Director. I know this is not on your docket right now, but what's the latest on Mitch McConnell?
It's still the same. His office has been, very tight-lipped about his status. Their official line has been that he's still recovering, in a rehab facility after he fell and then he developed pneumonia. So he is not in a good state. He's not voting. He's not been seen at the Capitol this week. So that's still the official line. Still a lot of questions about his status and when he will come back. To finish out his term.
Yeah, I guess we'll all just wait and see. Ben Siegel, ABC News, Deputy Political Director there in Washington. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Let's get another check of traffic. And here's the captain, Paul Kopsky.
Bob, the main problem right now is out west. 64 west is heavy and slow from Lake St. Louis Boulevard to I-70. 64 east bogs down around 170. In Illinois, 64 east is crowded from 157 to 159. And 64-55 west is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free Family Movie Night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, we mentioned it earlier. LeBron James is switching teams.
I believe you meant to say taking his talents to Philadelphia.
Taking his talents to Philadelphia. What a weird phrase. So now the guy in the neighborhood who's got his house painted gold and purple will have to paint it now a nice red, white, and blue. Well, that's going to be tough to do. And you know what if he moves on and takes his talents back to South Beach, or takes his talents back out west and now he's a Golden State Warrior? You're going to be painting your house a lot. So for all the big sports fans out there who need to switch over quite a bit, I got a guy for you. His name is Mike Ruffino, ruffinospainting.com. He can paint your entire house for you inside out. And don't forget, Bob, they can also stain the deck. He can do it all for you. He does commercial. He does residential. He does deck staining. He does just about anything you can think of with a paintbrush. It's Mike Ruffino at Ruffino's Painting. He's also got a whole crew over there of solid professionals. They did my deck. They can do yours as well, and they can paint your whole house inside and out. 636-655-0820, ruffinospainting.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Home equity loans are home everything loans at Neighbors Credit Union. Home improvements, vacations, education, even debt consolidation. Anything and everything you have planned can be made easier with my friends at Neighbors Credit Union. With the flexibility of a home equity equity line of credit at Neighbors Credit Union, you can enjoy a great introductory rate for the first 12 months. The possibilities are endless. Stop by one of the 8 area locations or apply online at neighborscu.org.
Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 509288. Call 800-325-2697 for complete account and cost details.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be hosting another family movie night at Westport Plaza for a free showing of The Sandlot, Friday, July 31st. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza and bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Whew, only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. So come out to Movie Friday, July 31st for a special screening of The Sandlot. Visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Appliance Discounters, Connor Roofing, Metal Exchange, Galmish & Sons Heating and Cooling, Allen Roofing and Siding, and All-Tear Travel.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, let's do a little entertainment news. When Michael J. Fox was diagnosed with Parkinson's back in 1991, he was told he'd have another 10 years to act. Well, the Emmy and Golden Globe winner has defied the odds and then some, and he reveals he'll be returning for season 4 of Shrinking. He's currently up for an Emmy for his debut on the 3rd season, which aired in the winter. Fox had previously announced he'd quit acting during the pandemic due to an inability to rely on his speech from day to day. He said it had gotten too uncomfortable, but that moratorium lasted about 6 years, and then he decided to get back in the game. And he says it's really prolonged my life and made my life interesting in a way that I didn't think it would be at this point. And he also said, I'm not retired from acting, but if I didn't act again, it would be for a very good reason. I let Parkinson's make decisions for me. So,
he's a terrific actor, and I was watching one of the Back to the Futures just the other day, really focused on him, and really, really a talented actor.
yeah, he is. And from the beginning, when he kind of hit the ground running with Family Ties, you knew that, I mean, he carried that show as a kid. This is interesting, I thought. After visiting a military base, John Mayer was so moved talking to wounded warriors. The musician has spent 15 years and millions of his own money backing research on PTSD and veterans health.
How about that? That's great.
You never hear about it. He kind of keeps it under wraps.
That's terrific.
Weird Al Yankovic turned down $1 million offer to perform in Saudi Arabia. He said, I don't need to take any money if it makes me feel icky. No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
Interesting.
How many of his songs make you feel icky? No, I'm just kidding. No, good for him.
Oprah Winfrey, see if you agree with this, doesn't believe in having a work-life balance at the beginning of a career. She says it's earned over time, and I kind of agree. I think you got to grind it out in the beginning and prove that you're worth something.
Well, if your goals are to be successful in a career, that's typically what you have to do to achieve the best you can be. Maybe you don't reach your goal, but you got to push yourself.
But don't you feel these days a new employee, and I'm saying probably young, comes in with a list of demands instead of, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, let me know what else I can do. Can I grab your coffee?
You know, I'm not around real world stuff very often. That certainly is a reputation that we're getting. and talking to people who do run other businesses, that can be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to someone like Oprah, who wanted to be a nationally syndicated talk show host, who wanted to be Oprah, she got to where she is because she grinded it out. If that's where you're going, but I don't think all workers need to make that much sacrifice.
Jobs versus careers.
Well, yeah, but which job are you going for? You know, and I hate to say that people should limit themselves, but if you're looking for middle management and all this stuff, you shouldn't have to be working 80 hours a week. The Wall Street, I always thought this was interesting. Wall Street expects you to come in with little pay and to work, 100-hour work week, and
so does TV.
Eat your dinner there, and
so does TV.
Stay until 11 and come back again at 9. And a lot of younger people are saying, oh, I don't want that job.
Right. That's kind of my point is that they're refusing to do it.
But is that a realistic expectation? I think Wall Street might have to do a reset and just say, look, maybe we are asking too much.
Well, I don't know enough about that business. I know in our businesses, TV and radio, which aren't real world. I get that. It's really different from almost every other job. I can think of very few people who walk into their first job day one and are as complete a broadcaster as they're ever going to be. Very, very few. And so it takes time. It takes reps, much like an athlete. You got to get reps to be the best you can be.
And maybe this is all about personality and what you think in your own work ethic. But I tend to agree that you got to work a little harder in the beginning. And then as things kind of ease up, you can maybe take a step back.
And many of the trades, I don't know if it's the long hours, although sometimes it is, you're an apprentice and a journeyman. And so there are dues to be paid in many businesses.
Yeah. John Leguizamo says his Ice Age paychecks bought 2 houses and paid for his kids' college tuition. He's the voice of Sid the Sloth. Now that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and we were surprised a couple of weeks ago when Max said John Leguizamo deserves an Oscar for his role in The Odyssey, and Heidi said, John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I thought he was a stand-up comedian first and foremost, but he's done a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Yeah, where's he been? Well, he's been voicing the Ice Age movie. I think they got another one coming up.
Maybe, and I guess he'll just add more money to that bank account.
Hey, you'll get that third house, John.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Depp popped at Comic-Con yesterday in full Scrooge costume. I saw a couple pictures and did not know it was him at first. He's promoting his upcoming movie, Ebenezer. There were Christmas carolers, and he came out of a snowy Scrooge and Marley storefront to talk to fans. Ebenezer is in theaters in November.
All right. So I'm watching the Today Show, and I see they showed a bunch of clips.
I was watching the same time.
At first, because now that we have Finn, we've been watching the Muppet Christmas Carol, which is fantastic. It really is fantastic. And then I went back and watched a George C. Scott. Very good. I even bought the book, the old Dickens book, because I kind of got into it. And I said, do we need another one of these? And then I saw his portrayal of Scrooge. And I said, this looks great. So do we need another? Jim Carrey did Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, there's I think a couple of even older than the George C. Scott, like in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a great story. And that's one that I think there's so many lessons to be learned in that. I say, do it over and over again. Disney has gifted more than 18,000 Toy Story 5 toys and 34,000 character-inspired hospital gowns to sick kids around the world. They also had exclusive screenings of the movie at 400 hospitals, which I just think is super cool.
So we watched Toy Story 5, and there's
you weren't a fan.
I wasn't a fan. I like the other 4 better. There was a subplot of new Buzz toys kind of getting lost, and they make their way into the movie. And at the end, you see them push a button, and their backs open up into drones. And then they start flying. It's part of the plot. But I elbow my wife, and I go, we're going to Disney in September. I go, how much you want to bet at the end of that Toy Story ride they're going to be selling?
Oh, you know it.
Buzz drones.
And how much, Heidi, you want to bet
that Finn
the
gets
Gilberts buy? At least one. At least
Maybe
one.
Daddy will get one.
His and his.
Uh-huh.
Yes, mine and Finn's.
I would say that is the safest bet we could make today. John Bon Jovi abruptly ended last night's show after 90 minutes due to a sinus infection. Now, this is what I love about him. He told the audience, hold on to your tickets. I'm going to figure out a way to reschedule this.
How nice.
Isn't
That's
it?
good.
And Casey Musgraves is one of my favorites. She just released the music video for her new song, Mexico Honey, which it's a great song. Josh, maybe you can find it. Her grandma, not a fan of the video. Casey has previously joked that Nana wasn't a fan of songs like Dry Spell, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
She said that she skipped that video altogether, but this time Casey's manager, I guess, is stirring the pot, dropped a link to Mexico Honey, the video, into a family group chat, and Nana's review was short and sweet. She said, this song will never be on my favorite list.
Oh, no. What do you think of it, Heidi?
I love it.
Okay. I'll try to find it.
Okay. NASCAR is celebrating America's 250th birthday with a new 3-part docuseries called NASCAR Americana. It's being produced by Peyton Manning and his Omaha Productions. It's premiering August 9th on USA Network. The series explores the sport from its moonshine running roots to its place as a major part of American culture. The episodes feature stories and interviews with Bubba Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, and more. I don't know that I knew it started that way. So that might be kind of interesting, even if you're not a huge NASCAR fan. And then how about this? 44 years ago today in 1982, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger, the theme song for Rocky III, which I often forget. I just assume it was the first one.
Rocky. Yeah, it just goes with Rocky.
It does. It hit number 1 on the pop charts. So let's do a couple birthdays.
All right. I got a couple one easy one and a couple hard ones.
All right.
This first one, and I bring her up because my oldest boy was a brief pen pal with her many years ago.
Oh.
The daughter of the crocodile hunter, Bindi Sue Irwin.
Bindi.
Oh, cool. They wrote back and forth a couple times. It was really cute.
I'm going to say she is 25.
24.
She's 28.
Oh, okay.
How about that? Time flies, doesn't? This is going to be a layup. You're going to have to hit the button to see who gets it right first. Jennifer Lopez.
57.
52. What'd you say?
57.
Bang, got it.
Wow. I mean, we did shake hands once.
Yeah.
For no particular reason, how old is the NBA's third all-time leading scorer, Karl Malone? Some may know him as the mailman.
All right, so Bob's...
No, I don't think...
Hang on.
Yeah.
Bob's son was pen pals with Bindi.
Yeah.
Heidi's met J-Lo, and I came up with the mailman's nickname.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful.
Exactly.
Great job, by the way.
How old is... I'm going to say...
Karl Malone. 66.
Okay.
66.
When was I at Louisiana Tech?
Right.
80, 79, 82, 83. Karl Malone.
I'm going to say 64.
Heidi gets it 63. And finally, this is for Josh and me, Heidi.
Okay.
So you're going to have, it's a challenge for you. How old is Cosmo Kramer?
Oh my God, Michael Richards. I think he was the oldest. Was he the oldest?
I think that's right.
I'm going to say 74.
I'll go 78.
77.
Wow.
Good contest today.
And that is your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Take my heart, take all my money. I want you so bad, it ain't even funny. I mean, for real, what the hell? You got me shaking my ass.
So she has great lyrics.
Oh, she's a great writer.
I think
Merry-Go-Round is what kind of put her on the map. Listen to those lyrics. They're great.
Such great lyrics. Wasn't she on SNL not
Naked.
too long ago? Naked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's.
Did I miss that episode?
You must have.
She's returned to the same outfit.
Yes.
In this
And I
music
think that's why
video.
Nana doesn't love it.
I can see why Nana's upset.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. Many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool, and parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
Connor Roofing is proud to be a small part of Christmas in July, celebrating the heart of St. Louis, and thanks to 550 KTRS. This is Kathy from Connor Roofing. For years, we've been dedicated to protecting what matters most, your home, your family, and your peace of mind. As a local business, we believe in strong roofs and even stronger communities. Thanks for making us a part of yours. Connor Roofing, keeping St. Louis covered, one roof at a time. You can find us at connerroofing.com.
One last look at traffic with Captain Paul for the weekend. Cap?
Josh, the congestion on 64 West in Lake St. Louis has subsided. 64 East bogs down around 170. In Illinois, 64 East is crowded from 157 to 159, and 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot, face painting, concession, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, over on the text line 84126, someone said, hey, Bob, this one's for you. The guy that wrote Eye of the Tiger also wrote Vehicle by the Ides of March. Hey, that's for me, too. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Vehicle with the horns and everything. If you own a vehicle and you drive it for work and you're not taking the mileage deduction on it, you're leaving money on the table. If you're a small business and you have a fleet of vehicles and you're not taking the mileage deduction on those, you are leaving tons of money on the table. Here's the deal for the first half of this year, 2026. I think you can mark 71 cents a mile for your mileage deduction. But for the second half, this is part of the big, beautiful bill. For the second half of 2026, the next 6 months, including right now, I think it's bumped up to 76 cents a mile. And for whatever reason, they wrote that in there. And if you didn't know that, you are leaving money on the table. If you didn't know that you're going to have to file your taxes, and for the first 6 months, it's 71, and the second 6 months, it's 76, you're going to have problems with your taxes, or you're leaving 5 cents a mile on the table. Guess where that money goes? Well, in the form of taxes, it goes to the federal government. If you hire Jeff Zufall to do your taxes, he'll figure all this out for you, and you will be able to keep more of what's yours. That's the name of the show that we do on the weekends. It's the name of the book that Jeff has written, and you can go online to capitaladvisorygrp.com, capitaladvisorygrp.com, and you can push a button and say, send me a free copy of the book. Keep what's yours. These are the things that if you don't know about, how do you know when you're filing your taxes to even address it? That's why we do the show, to let you know that there are things in the tax code that are there for you. Most of the tax code, of course, is written for corporations and big businesses and millionaires and billionaires, but they've cobbled together a couple of pages for you and me. And those pages are crucial when it comes to making your tax plan. It is not just about April 15th. It's about every time you get a paycheck, every 2 weeks, every month. How are you doing it? And what can you do today for the next 6 months to make your tax bill smaller? When it comes to next April 15th, well, that's why you give Jeff a call. 636-394-5524, 636-394-5524. If you're not using the tax code to your benefit, you're leaving money on the table. You're giving more money to the federal government than you have to. CapitalAdvisoryGRP.com, and the number again, call Jeff, 636-394-5524. Keep more of your money.
As we enter into the summer months, you might be thinking windows and doors. Yeah, and where are you going to go? You have lots of options when it comes to windows and doors. Let me tell you about a St. Louis company that everybody should know about. It's called WSWindow.net. It's run by Larry Thornton and his son, Joe. And they've been selling windows and doors in St. Louis for 38 years. They do most of their work with a handshake and a smile. There is no high-pressure sales. There is no jacking up the prices and then try and bring you down as they demand some type of signature on the dotted line. They'll shake your hand and say, we hope to hear from you. And they have been successful. They beat the big boys at their games for all these many years because they do it right. They have long-time installers, long-time employees. The Window Store. If you need windows, if you need doors, you want a great price, and you want to keep it in the St. Louis family. That's Larry and Joe Thornton. The Window Store. WSWindow.net. WSWindow.net.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's wrap this Friday up with a couple randoms.
Most pencils sold in America have erasers on the ends of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those sold in Europe usually don't. British consumers typically buy erasers separately, and they refer to these standalone erasers as rubbers.
That could get confusing if we did that.
Right. A glass ball will bounce higher than a rubber ball of the same size if it doesn't break on impact. That's because the rubber ball loses energy when it compresses.
Sure.
Before returning to its original shape. Glass is rigid, so it retains the energy of the impact. Just imagine throwing a marble.
But how do you make sure it doesn't break?
Well, it's got to be pretty solid, I guess. And you don't want to drop it from the Empire State Building.
No.
The reason the taste of artificial banana flavoring and fake banana flavored products don't taste like bananas is that it's based on another type of banana that was wiped out by a plague in the 1950s.
What?
I've heard this before.
Really?
I have not.
Fascinating.
Like banana Laffy Taffies, banana this, banana that.
So it tastes like that original
tastes
banana?
like the old bananas. We've got the new bananas.
So if you like bananas, do you like the banana flavoring, or it's just a completely different?
That's the question to the text line 84126. Do you like banana flavored things, but you don't like bananas?
Well, now you know why.
Think about it. And going back to England, the second B in BYOB, what does BYOB stand for?
Bring your own beer.
Doesn't always stand for beer.
Beverage.
In the UK, when asked what it stood for, 39% of people said bottle. Bring your own bottle.
That works.
Okay.
38%, just about the same amount, said booze.
Mm-hmm.
Bring your own booze. And only 5% said beer. For the record, 17% of Brits said they didn't know what it stood for.
No.
They didn't know. BYOB, I don't know. I guess I'll bring beer since I don't know what that means.
You guys, that does it for us. Thanks for hanging out with us all week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I hope you meet us back here Monday at 3 o'clock. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Due to the overwhelming success of Country Club Car Wash's summer sparkler promotion, they're extending it until further notice. At Country Club Car Wash, make sure it says country, you can buy 2 ultimate washes and get 2 free. That's a total of 4 ultimate exterior washes for only $52 at Country Club Car Wash. Or $92 gets you 4 ultimate exterior washes and 4 interior cleanings. Available in-store or online, cccwstl.com. Country Club Car Wash, cccwstl.com /summer-sparkler. CC SCCWSTL.com.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
It's been a tough Saturday on the lake. I ordered swim trunks in this orange cream color, but it's actually more orange auburn. Oh, and it's swimwear. I probably can't even return these.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
From QB Austin Simmons, wide receiver Caden Lee, and every player in between, we are the home of the Super Bowl.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Colt Gray, the teenager who carried out a mass shooting at Georgia's Appalachian High School in 2024, pleading guilty to 55 counts today, including murder.
Mr. Gray, you understand all 55 charges? Yes, Your Honor. And you understand that you would be pleading guilty to the entire indictment? Is that right? Yes, Your Honor.
2 teachers and 2 students were killed in the shooting, including 14-year-old Mason Schermerhorn. His sister, Alana Schermerhorn Wallace, testified during the plea hearing.
First, I was scared. I was shaking. But then when I got to around the end where I